Welcome to the Nerdom and Other Nonsense Anime Podcast. Today, we're doing a special preview episode for the spring 2018's upcoming anime. And guess what? We're not spoiling anything for once. It's a big fucking anime season. So not only do we have Bcom,
hey,
and Leo,
what's up,
here, but we also brought a special guest. Say hello to Brains.
Hi, I'm Brains, and I love Moe.
From the Trash Pandas Watch Anime Podcast.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's terrible.
Welcome, Brains. It's nice to finally have you on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where we make the rules. No, I'm just
Oh, no.
How special
I
do
feel
you
like I'm trapped
now?
in enemy territory now.
It's okay. We'll be friendly. Except maybe not Cat. We'll see about that.
Oh, well.
Kitty's got claws.
Cat's still a wild card. We're not sure about her yet.
I'm the bad
Still
cop
kinda
in
new.
this scenario, I guess.
Wow. So yeah, while we normally do our first 3 episode impressions episodes every season, we decided, actually Kat kind of decided that we should do a preview episode for spring because it would be a lot more fun and we would have the chance to have a guest on. And we can also make some really fun and terrible predictions that will clearly not come true, but we'll make them anyway.
Yay.
So yeah, we've got 58 television anime listed below on this Google Doc that are going to be airing in spring that we thought were at least worth mentioning. And Kat, you have like a score system you developed for this.
Well, okay, so like 1 is I'm not fucking watching this shit, right? 2 is like maybe I'll watch an episode. I'm probably not going to watch it, but like maybe I'm going to give it a shot. 3 is like I'm interested, but maybe I'll drop it. And 4 is like, I'm fucking watching this shit. I don't give a fuck. That sort of thing.
Okay.
So
I'm down for that.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, we're going to go show by show. If you want to follow along with us, we're basically using the My Anime List seasonal anime chart for spring and sorting it by the most members.
Yeah,
So
'cause I figured
going
that was-
from most popular to least.
That was like the best way that everyone can easily follow. Because it's like
Yeah.
it's available to everyone. So
All right, so we will kick it off then. Number 1 most popular anime heading into spring, Boku no Hero Academia Season 3 from
No
Studio
surprise.
Bones.
okay, so this season I've heard from several people it's supposed to be called like the Bakugo Princess arc. And all I can think of is Bakugo and like a frilly like princess dress and like a tiara. I don't know. That's probably not what it is. That's what I'm hoping it is.
I have no idea.
Almost kind of exactly that, except without the dress and the tiara.
Okay.
Great. Because there was only that part, or was it already that part in season 2 where like Bakugo had to go intern like with those people and like had his hair like done and had to dress like a pretty boy and all that. So I feel like it's going to be more of that. I don't know, but
I mean, but he wasn't like in drag. So
no, that's true.
Think of it like Bakugo is Princess Peach. That's what the arc's about.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to remember what happens in the manga, and this does not sound.
I
I don't remember him getting
It's-
caught a second time.
He gets kidnapped.
Oh no!
Okay, let's
no,
not
no.
spoil the show.
I'm not going to spoil it. I'm trying to remember. Okay, no, I remember what happens
wait,
now. But
so he's
I've
a
read the manga. I'm not
damsel
going to
in
watch it.
distress.
I don't understand why why would Bakugo ever be a damsel? Well, you know what? We can watch and find out.
I was gonna say that's all the spoilers, really. But like,
Okay.
Yep.
Speaking of damsels, I really soured on certain aspects of season 2 of My Hero, as anybody who listened to our podcast week to week for the first half of season 2 would remember. I did not like how it was progressing several of the storylines of like female characters as opposed to the male heroes on the show. But I've been assured by multiple people that like some of the best parts of this manga are about to be adapted and it's going to be hype as hell, at least for the first half of season 3. And I've heard the second half of season 3 might not be as hype, but I don't know. That's just from people who've read the manga. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a 3 for me. It's not like a definite, like I must watch this because I'm so hype. It's like, I'm definitely going to watch this at least part of the way through unless it pisses me off.
Well,
So yeah.
I mean, even if it has its problems, it's kind of like the darling of the anime world right now. So like you're kind of forced to
Right.
watch it if you're at all involved in the anime community. Because everyone's going to be fucking talking about it.
I'm getting away with it.
So
It's going to sweep all of the next Crunchyroll awards, so we have to watch it.
Yeah, I probably will again.
yep.
Number 2?
And so Leo, I think you had.
I don't know.
What was yours?
I gave it a 1 because I've read the manga, so I'm not going to be watching it.
Why is that your personal creed? Why do you not think that anime can improve on a manga or make it more enjoyable?
No, it's because I already know the story. I don't find things as engaging a second time, and I don't think I could really score it properly. So that's mainly my big reason.
Interesting.
Sometimes there is an exception, but usually not.
So what I've heard here is you need to stop reading manga. If you're gonna keep doing a podcast about anime.
Oh my goodness. Or at least stop condescendingly being I've read the manga.
No, that's not how I mean it. Oh my god. I'm so high
Cat's
class.
what a twat.
I can read words.
Oh man. Brains, what are your thoughts going into season 3?
I rated it a 4 because I still think the show is going to be fantastic and full of awesome moments, and there will be more All Might, and he'll say things like, "I stand for justice, not sound bites." So the show's great, and there's one person that I know of that really soured on the show for some odd reason.
What a fucking asshole that guy is.
Okay,
What a Debbie Downer. I hate that guy.
Couldn't read context. No,
all right, I can say this without it being a spoiler, but if you are a big All Might fan, he does get a big presence, and he should be in this arc.
Excited.
So yeah,
That's cool.
So
right.
2.
Yeah, let's move on to the show number 2, Steins Gate Zero from Studio White Fox.
Okay, so this one is going to be if Okabe hadn't decided to go back and save Christina after he kills her the first time, at the end of the first Steins Gate, if he broke down and was I can't do this anymore and just didn't save her. But then they don't actually kill her off, because in the PV, I don't feel like it's a spoiler if it's in the PV.
I think it's in the synopsis too.
Yeah. Okay. They bring her back as some sort of weird AI character. Come on, if you're gonna kill her, kill her off. Don't bring her back as some weird AI shit. I don't know.
In the game, it makes sense because so the interesting thing a Steins Gate, a lot of people don't know, and you guys probably might all know this, but Steins Gate is the same universe literally as Robotics Notes and Chaos Head and Chaos Child. So there's a reason why.
Okay. That's vague enough, I feel like. Yeah.
There's basically a big enemy that kind of is if you've watched all the shows, you know who that common enemy, or not common enemy necessarily enemy, but common organization behind the scenes is. Because they mention it in every anime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in every anime they mention them. So
that's also, I've watched most of the Semicolon series, and some of them are really great, and some of them are crash and burn terrible. So I'm kind of I hope it's really good. I liked Steins Gate, but it also might be just hot trash. We'll see. I am hoping for some darker horror elements, because you don't get a lot of horror in anime, but we'll see. That's how I feel about it.
This is a 4 for me, because at some point in this anime, Mayuri is going to say, "Doo-doo-doo," and I'm going to fucking lose my shit.
Oh my god.
Bcom is just going to spontaneously come when she does it. He's just going to oh my god, yes.
I'm going to be so excited.
2 years, will it be 2 years of glop by chance?
Yes, it'll be 2 years of glop. We're going to get to 2 years of glop, Brains. Don't worry. That's coming up.
Okay,
no, on an unrelated note, I was watching the No No Biori movie trailer that literally came out today, and there's a teaser at the end of that trailer where the main character is about to say her catchphrase but doesn't, and I was oh man, it's like that situation with Steins Gate where Mayuri is gonna say Tutoru. It's edging. Yes, Brains, thank you. It is edging.
Oh boy. But I gave it a 1, and it's not because I read a manga or something. It's because I never even finished the first season. I stopped somewhere around probably episode 14, I think.
Oh wow, that's pretty far in the game to just
fell
quit.
off the bandwagon. Well, I didn't think I watched it the season came out. I heard a bunch of hype about it after it already come out, so I was trying to get through it, and I just never made it.
See, like, I kind of have like this weird personal creed. Like, if I watched half the show, I'm finishing it. I'm like, yes, I know it's a sunk cost fallacy, but
Okay, but under that rule, I would have had to finish Clockwork Planet, and I probably would have killed myself trying to do
Why
that.
did you watch half of Clockwork Planet? Why did you not drop it when he started getting his fingers sucked in the
I
first
don't know.
episode?
Okay, I watched up to episode 6, and like I was like, I can't anymore, and I just gave up. So I'm just saying.
Like, listen,
Like,
Kat,
that's
that. All I'm going to tell you is that creed is the reason why I watched over 1,000 anime on Mal.
Oh no.
That's rough.
Like when Bcom told me that I watched over 1,000 anime, because like I just looked at the series number, and it was like 600 or 700, something like that, and I was like, wow, that's a lot. Well, okay. And then like when Bcom's like, you've watched over 1,000 anime, I was like, what?
Oh no, I remember when I first looked at your Mal. Okay, Brains, and I was like, the fuck is this? Like, there's only one person who's watched as many anime as you that I've looked at their Mal, and they are much older than you. Let's put it that way.
There are people on the Discord though that have like their time spent watching anime is counted in years, not days, years.
Oh, I've seen that.
Like I mean, mine's still
You
counted
are
in
one
like
of them.
265, 266 days, something like that. Like I still got
Only almost a year of your life.
276 days, Brains. 276 days.
You're gonna get to the point where over 1% of your life has been spent watching anime.
And you know what?
Oh my god.
I'll be okay with that.
Worth it.
We got 56 more shows to go, and we're getting way sidetracked at number 2.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
So,
yeah, Brains, I think you gave this a 4 also, right?
Yes, I gave this a 4 because I love Steins Gate, Chaos Head, Robotics Notes. I love all those shows. So I'm excited to see more, and I'm hoping like we're going to eventually build up to Science Adventure, where we get to see like the big clash and the conflict. Because I haven't played the games, but I have an understanding of like where it goes. And that's what I'm excited for.
Whip.
Brains, would you like to introduce our next show in song?
I would, but I'd make all your listeners go deaf because my singing voice is that of a she-demon.
Okay, fine. Tokyo Ghoul Re from Studio Pierrot.
I got what
Brains
you're saying
is
because
fucking pussying out. That's what I hear.
I see why. Hold on. Oshite. Oshite.
Just a little higher, Brains. So just a little higher than that.
Oshite. God damn it. Oshite. You're so Shikuru.
Look, we all can't be TK from that band Ling Tosate Segure, so
Yeah.
unfortunately. Kat, what do you think of this
Unravel is
Tokyo Ghoul
fantastic.
Re?
Okay, so like I am a Tokyo Ghoul fan along with Brains here, so I'm excited for it. I am also prepared for all the shitting that will happen to this anime because everyone's gonna fucking hate on it all season. That is the
Or
plight
maybe
of Tokyo
they'll be
Ghoul.
like Tokyo Ghoul finally done right because the manga people will finally be appeased. Those pieces of
you
shit.
don't have to be falsely optimistic, Brains. Like you fucking know what's gonna happen. Like the
I know.
community is gonna come down on us, and they're gonna talk about like how it's an emo edge anime, and they're gonna like make gifs of it and all the bullshit, and we're just gonna have to suffer through like gracefully.
That's just why I hate so much manga readers. Like when it comes to like an anime, and like no, it's not even like a negative thing. Like I hate them because like, you know, there's the people that are like, oh, I watched the manga. This is an interesting adaptation. Oh, this was a little different. But then there's the manga fucking readers that are just like, fuck this show. It didn't do what I wanted it to exactly do. Or added an anime only arc. How dare it? Go fuck yourselves.
They are the hipsters of the anime community.
I read it in manga first. It didn't do this.
I liked it before it was popular.
Thanos is the old anti-Hulk.
I don't like it now because it's popular now.
Speaking of hipsters, I'm giving this a 1, but mostly because I'm just way behind on it. Like, I haven't even finished the first season.
You should
but I've heard the community's reaction to Route A, so I will hold off until people say that this is really good. And when they do, then I'll watch it.
And they never will,
and then I'll
because
catch up on the
that's
whole
not the way anime works.
Yeah,
it happens sometimes.
My Hero Academia is going to be super overrated next season, by the way. Wait for the anime hipsters to do that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
That one would surprise me.
Right now, like I said, My Hero is the darling. Eventually, it will go the way of Attack on Titan and Tokyo Ghoul and become like the shitted on anime.
And Parasite the Maxim
Franks?
and like everything else that's ever been popular. Black Butler, super popular. Now everybody's like, oh, fucking Bishi Butlers. Go fuck yourself.
I am just like Bcom, I guess, because I gave this show a 1. And before we started this podcast, we were talking about it, and they were just getting me caught back up on what happened in season 1. I thought I hadn't finished it. Apparently, I did watch all 12 episodes, and I must have just not liked it that much. My brain tried to forget about it. So,
Oh, come on. That final fight scene in that last episode is great.
I remember having a really big problem with the main character. That was it.
Yeah. Brains, what do you think about Tokyo Ghoul Re? You seem to like it.
I think it's going to be pretty good. I know because I did read some of the manga after they didn't make anything after Route A, and because I was interested, and there are quite a bit of differences, but this next arc I think's interesting. I know a lot of manga fans in pre-shitting on this form have said that it's dumb. It's really dumb. And to be fair, like Tokyo Ghoul starts to get really dumb. Like if I told you, like, because I read up on the ending, if I told you how that manga ends, you'd be like, what? Like it almost makes sense, but it almost doesn't make sense. And it's just because like the author, I think after the first like season was popular, he just was like, oh, I guess I got to keep writing this, and then he just like started throwing crazier and crazier shit at everything.
I'm curious though, do you think this will be the last season? Will they get to the end of the manga? Like, will they catch up, or what do you think?
So like there are some secrets that are revealed, because like the interesting thing is like in the manga you don't really get anything behind Aogiri tree, right? Like early on, like it's not till like way later. And that's what Route A was supposed to try to address. But so the first season's about Anteku. The second season was about Aogiri tree, and then like the third season is going to be about the doves. Like we are going to be following the doves around, not the ghouls.
Yes, but like, do you think that is there something after that? Is there going to be a fourth season?
Yes. There is actually quite a bit after that.
Because I was kind of curious.
And it was actually called Tokyo Ghoul Re at this point. So like, but like the stuff that happens with the CCG, you start following around a couple characters from the CCG, and it's pretty interesting to kind of see how everything works there. And like this is like their world building sets of chapters. Like it's what I think of it as, because we're going over the three main organizations, and when we get to the next arc, that's when shit starts getting weird. So I don't know if it'll be the last one, but it'll be pretty close, because I think once shit starts getting weird, either they're gonna adapt it as an anime only arc and like change the way the show progressed, or it's just not gonna be popular enough to continue.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a show that doesn't suck.
Well, okay.
So Food Wars.
Food
Wars, the third plate, part 2 from JC staff.
That was pretty funny, because like in the doc,
no,
I'm like trying to highlight it.
Me and Leo were like communicating through like Google Doc, like we need to move on. No,
you're communicating through eyebrow waggles. You're just like, no, this needs to, like, we need to move. All right.
No, I like hearing about Tokyo Ghoul. It's interesting. but not as interesting as boobs and food and butts. Come on now.
Okay, but like,
Kat, what do you think about Food Wars?
The third season of Shokugeki no Soma, like the animation took a huge dive. A lot of it was in CG and not terribly good CG. Like I remember there was this animation of these like helpers cooking this Chinese dish that they probably
the mapo
used
tofu, yes,
like 60 fucking times last season, and I was like, I don't want to see this fucking slice of CG animation again. If you show it to me again, I'm gonna have a rage quit. Like I got so tired of it.
Wait. You're gonna have a rage quit or a rage boner?
A quit.
I'm gonna have to pause it for a second and like try not to scream in my house and anger my neighbors. Let's put it that way.
But you still gave it a high score.
Scared the dog and the cat.
No, my dog and cat are used to me screaming. That doesn't scare them. What are you talking about?
Fair enough, considering your activities of watching anime. I mean, that's terrible. Like Clockwork Planet, which you watch 6 episodes of.
I don't know why I did that. Okay. I was.
We all made poor choices. It's okay.
Person.
I watched all of All My Buddha.
that was
even know
also
that
a
one.
bad decision. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'll keep watching it, but like I'm not as excited as I was before season 3. So
I've got this one out of 4. I just continue to find this to be like a really enjoyable shonen. And I love like cooking shows like Iron Chef, like all those things. Like Food Network used to be my place to go, like when nothing else was on TV. So yeah, like this adds like waifus to that. Like Iron Chef with waifus sounds amazing.
okay, the
like,
guy
as a concept
in the naked apron is pretty awesome to see. Like
He's
he's
the one
like
who
his
does
butt
use
out,
the smoking
bare
techniques,
ass,
right?
bare ass apron boy.
Yeah. Honestly, I like all the characters in the show except for Megumi, who's incredibly boring and terrible. And shout outs to
She's
Andrew
weak.
on that one.
Yeah, she's weak.
She got better in the manga, but
Okay, good.
Okay,
so like you just
Leo,
heard, I read the manga.
As I wanted to ask you,
I'm not
I
gonna watch
heard
it.
that in the manga they have like the recipes for most of these things. Is that true, or is that like a myth?
I believe you can. I mean, they practically spell it out, so you could definitely pull a recipe from the text for just about everything.
Okay, I was just curious.
That's cool.
And I want to say I know I've seen like ones where like, oh, like a Shokugeki, like almost like a little cookbook or like whatever you buy this, the manga, it's like in there sometimes. I believe so.
Ooh, that makes me want to actually read the manga.
Yeah. If I want to say
Leo,
something,
you read the manga.
yeah, the manga's really good. It's really interesting. But Bcom, if I want to say I recall you saying one bad thing about this show a long time back, and you were like, he's gonna win every single cooking competition,
But he didn't.
but then he didn't.
Yeah.
And I kept quiet at the time because I'm like, well, I know he doesn't.
He does win a lot of them.
Yeah, he does win a lot. But what do you think, Brains?
I mean, so like I've watched the first season of Shokugeki no Soma and wasn't a big fan. Like it was a good show, right? But I was just like, if I want to watch Iron Chef, I'll watch Iron Chef. Like
Yeah.
I got other anime to watch. Like but I do want to take this moment to tell you, Leo, that On My Buddha might be right up your guys' alley.
God damn it.
Basically a monk that when he gets horny, he gets super exorcism powers from the Buddha. So all
isn't
these
there, like,
female
3
monks around him. Yep.
Oh yeah, and there's like a couple seasons of it. Wait, it's the Amadeus something?
Yeah. All my
I've
Dio
watched that whole
Sama.
thing. Yeah, I watched that whole series. Dude, that was like one of my first anime ever.
It's terrible, but it's so fucking fun.
I remember enjoying it, dude.
No, it's terrible. Like if you looked at it with a critical eye, you'd be like, "Oh, that's terrible." But like at the same time, you're just like, "This is fun."
Wait, are there not scenes where there's a monster to defeat, and so therefore they have to get this dude horny, and they like
Yes.
start pushing their boobs against him and shit?
Yep. And
All
then
right.
sometimes that
Yep.
doesn't work. And then like she'll like one of the females will accidentally fall. And for whatever reason, just like the way the robe slipped just right, it like causes them to go, "My arrows."
Sounds like gold, etchy gold.
Oh.
There.
It is etchy gold.
So we got number 5, Sword Art Online Alternative, Gungale Online, done by Studio Gungale. That's how much I give a crap about this. Studio 3HZ. What do you think, Kat?
Okay, so
Studio
like
3 Hertz.
I'm
Kat,
gonna
you go
try.
first.
This is a spinoff, so like I'm gonna try not to judge it. I'll watch it. I'll see if it's good. Like I don't like to jump on the bandwagon and hate something just for the, just because. But I mean, I'm like ambivalent. Either it'll be okay or it won't. We'll see. I mean, the studio, it's a different studio. They made Princess Principal, so they aren't incompetent. It might
Pretty
be
decent
good.
show.
Yeah.
And it had good fight choreography, that show. So I could see the fights in this looking very good.
Music
But yeah,
was
I'm
good,
definitely
too.
giving this a shot because SAO, as much as people hate various flaws with it, is still like an incredibly well-produced show. Like, it's animated really well. The music by Yuki Kajira is always great.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's doing the music for this one. I didn't check.
I don't
Maybe
think
I'll check
she
later
is.
when
I think
we're-
this
when
is
we're
the
talking
first
about it.
one that isn't going to have music by her.
I think it's a completely different studio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a completely
Yeah,
different
Studio 3 Hertz. But I mean, doesn't mean she wouldn't be doing the music. She might be.
Right, so we can't
the
count
writer
on
of
the
Kino-
past.
Yeah. The writer of Kino's Journey is the one who wrote the light novel for this.
Oh, really?
Which is interesting.
Okay, I might check it out then.
Yeah, because
Yeah, they're a big
it is
gun
a
nut,
spinoff.
so.
It's not part of the like main universe, so it might be good.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The main character is a pink lolly who has a pink P90. And that is stupid, but it's kind of funny because apparently in real life, outside of the game, she's a really tall, like teenage or 20-year-old girl. I can't remember. And so when she chooses a character in the game, she chooses somebody really small to get away from her image of being super tall in real life. So I thought that was kind of nice, but I don't know. Maybe it's just an excuse to have a stupid lolly in the show. I don't know.
I gave it a 1 because I don't even want to attempt it. That's it.
So I gave it a 1, but I'll probably upgrade that to like a 3. If the writer behind Kino's Journey is on it, I'll give it a shot because I love Kino's Journey. But I feel like it's an excuse for Sword Art to have another lolly.
Yeah, right.
And more, and we might see a second iteration of 2 years of Clop after this.
God, no.
But man, if this adapts like the last Kino Journey did, that won't be good.
The last
so-
Kino's, I
Speaking
don't
of
think
2 years of
adapted
Glop,
terribly,
by the way.
but I
Some of it was
on
good.
self-reflection, I think you're probably right. Like, Girls Last Tour probably was better than it. Like, just barely,
okay.
but
Parts of the last Kino Journey were okay, and parts of it were shitty.
Yeah.
So
I just want to hear your really quick opinion on the last episode of that Kino's Journey.
Oh, the sheep one.
Because my mind was blown, and I had I messaged Bcom. I was like, Bcom, just watch episode 3, episode 12. I need to discuss this with somebody. This episode is fucking batshit crazy.
It was so good. I loved that
It was
episode.
weird as fuck. Like, angry killer sheep are coming for us all.
they bred them for fighting. Like, what?
I messaged Bcom and I said, you've heard of like a pit bull or a dog fighting ring? I was like, you ever heard of a sheep fighting ring? And I know he was just like, what?
Their face is looking down on her in the cave, like in the cavern
evil.
or whatever. And they're like,
God.
so like, ooh, look at them. They're going to come for you. And they're sheep. They're fucking sheep. And you're just like, oh my God.
So, like, the one thing I really loved about episode 12 was actually the end, like the last little bit between Kino and Hermes, and
Yeah, that was a nice coda to the whole series.
yeah. So that's the one thing I particularly liked, but yeah. Oh, I'm excited for the next one.
Oh,
Number
Bcom needs
6.
to introduce this. So what is the line?
What-
Boost.
No, you're not saying it right.
Boost.
No, it's boost, boost,
Boost.
boost. When he gets
We
like,
got High School DxD Hero from Studio Passione.
I mean, I'll keep watching it. I mean, I've watched all of the others. I'll watch it.
I'm definitely interested. I've got this at a 3 because I'm pretty sure I'm going to watch it, and I'm not sure if I'll stay with it. Mostly because I'm just not caught up all the way. I just watched the first episode of season 2 where, holy crap, the fan service just ratchets up to a whole new level.
Well, let's see. They realized why they were popular. Let's be honest.
Yes, they did. So I'm excited to see where this is now that it's like a couple seasons down the line, and if the formula still holds up. It seems like it probably will. I really liked the first season, though. Rhea Scrummery is an awesome character.
Yeah, she is. She's kind of almost wasted on that show, except, I like the scenes with Rhea. Anyways.
I like any of the scenes with any of the girls. Yeah, I've been a big fan of the series since the first season 1, so mine's definitely 4.
You would be, Leo.
I just want to yell "Oh pie" all the time.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I get to say my bit where I rated a 4 as well, and I said, "No, Leo, it's Opie Dragon Emperor."
I just want to yell boobs. I'm just worshiping boobs, man. Even though I'm more of an ass guy, but boobs are fine too.
Boobs are great. They're soft, squishy pillows.
Asses are just superior to boobs, and I say that as someone who has boobs. So,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
In my opinion. Mm-hmm.
But they're still soft and nice to lay your head on.
All right. Okay, so our next one is Persona 5, the animation.
Bow, bow, bow. Sorry, I was just singing music.
Every time you say Persona 5, the animation, Bcom does that.
Oh my god. So I haven't even played any of these games. So I don't know if this will hook me or not. We'll see. Sometimes these video game anime, you have to have played it to like it. There's a lot that they don't sometimes explain. So we'll see.
Persona 5 is a pretty story heavy anime. So there's game. So there's an easy way to adapt this basically. The thing that's holding me back from just giving this I did give it a 4. I'm definitely watching it. But the one thing that's holding me back from saying oh, this is going to be great is that I didn't think the Persona 4 animation show was as good as the game. It captured the heart of the game as well as it could have. So I'm really hoping they knock it out of the park with this one. And one of the things that has me optimistic about that is the director, Masashi Ishihama, is the guy who directed the classic anime From the New World, or Shinsekai Yori, which is a really, really interesting, psychological, coming of age anime. So I think he'll have an interesting take on what Persona 5 should look like. I'm also excited to just hear more music from this show, because I'm sure there'll be some original music, and I think Shoji Meguro, who's the composer of all the Persona soundtracks, is working on this show as well. So that's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it's Persona. I'm giving it a 3. I'll obviously going to give it a shot just to see what it does.
It looks pretty. There are pretty boys in it. That's something in its favor.
And pretty girls. Pretty people all around. And cats.
Yeah, they apparently have masks on. They look kind of hot and fetishy. Seems fine.
Especially that cat.
What do you
girl.
think, Brains?
I'll probably check it out. I gave it a 3. I'm not a huge Persona guy. I've never actually played any of the games, and I will probably check this out because I did like Persona 3.
Okay.
I think that was the unpopular one, but I liked it. So, yeah. I just didn't know Persona 4 was coming out till way after it had come out, so.
I've only played Persona 5. I haven't even finished it, but in the end, I think I always end up with the album somehow.
They're great.
Yep.
I love the music. All right, let's move on. Show number 8, Wotaku ni Koi wa Muzakashii, or It's Difficult to Love an Otaku from A1 Pictures.
Okay, I am so psyched about this anime. It's two people who are in their mid-20s, early 30s-ish, and they actually start dating after the first few episodes. So most of the show is going to be them already dating, in a relationship, and they're older. I don't think that's ever happened in an anime. Both
makes them
those
a lot
things
more relatable
at once.
too.
Yeah, and they're both, so it's 2 otakus who are dating each other, and they're I think one is a fujoshi, and the other is I don't know what he is, but he's another type. Maybe he's a mech fan or something. I don't know. But also, this is a Neue Tamina anime, and most of those shows end up like a high quality bar. So this might be like one of the ones I'm most looking forward to. I'm excited.
So I horribly want this show to be good, but I also just watched Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which I was extremely disappointed with the ending of. Like, I'm encouraged by you saying that, like, oh, things are probably going to move quickly between these two characters, because I was really disappointed with Recovery of an MMO Junkie because things did not move at all with those characters.
Yeah, I was irritated
in ways
with
that like people who are age 30 would act.
I know.
Like, even if it's in Japan. So like if these characters like don't like kiss each other, like hold hands even at least, like if they just act like middle schoolers for the whole show, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Because if you're writing a show about 30-year-olds, make it about 30-year-olds acting like 30-year-olds. Like, they should be having sex, they should be like making out, like they should be going on dates and doing stuff with friends, they should be fighting, having disagreements about things. I don't know, it can be funny too, but like make it realistic.
Yeah, that's why I gave it a 4, because if it's going by the synopsis, it kind of sounds like that's what we should get. And also, both the chicks in that trailer were pretty hot. So,
so like I rated it a 3 because I hope it's gonna be good. But like, and I'm really excited to watch it. But like, I was just reading up on some stuff here about the manga. Apparently the manga is on Oricon frequently, and they have 4.2 million copies in print as of July 20th last year.
Damn.
So they
so there's a following for sure.
Yeah, so like it's probably gonna be good. Like hearing that it's Neue Tamina, seeing that on this article, like I can't think of many bad Neue Tamina shows. Like I can think of ones that are kind of meh, but not bad. And it's a josei, and I just went through a whole debate earlier today about demographics, and if it's seinen or josei, a lot of times it's
good,
or seinen.
mostly.
Yeah, a lot of times it's good. You know, it's at least it's not bad. It might be middle of the road, but you know, Neue Tamina's had things like Gyosei, which I love, Ayakashi, Honey and Clover. I mean, it's had a definite positive force, and that's because it's targeted towards older people, so It's got more mature themes. So this will probably be really good.
Great. I'm looking forward to it then. All right, let's move on to something that maybe won't be really good, but a lot of people are looking forward to this for some reason. It's Devil's Line from Studio Platinum Vision.
No, this is just
Sayuki Reload Blast fame.
Yeah, no, like this is a bunch of pretty boys who are vampires, and I can't really get much more out of any of the PVs. Like I don't know. It's just like it's a trope. I'm not excited. It's getting a 2 from me. Like I'll give it an episode. We'll see.
I mean, I give everything like 1 episode, but like I'm giving this a 1 because the studio brought us Sayuki Reload Blast. The director has never done anything before. The series composition writer gave us King's Game, Osama Game. I'm out. Like I'm so out.
Oh shit. Wow. No, okay. I don't even understand why this is so high up. I guess like the community has just been like hungering for a vampire anime. They've been waiting.
I mean, we've had a dearth of them, really. If you think about a dearth.
Yeah, there hasn't been a really decent one in a long time.
Yeah. So maybe that's like, why.
I think like
the last one I could think of, Blood Sea.
Sir Vamp was not a good one.
Well, I guess Sir Vamp technically,
Night,
yeah. I was gonna say before, Sir Vamp though is like vampire cats, so I don't count that. It's Owari no Seraph of the End.
Oh yeah.
Was like the first or the last legit vampire anime I remember, other than like Hellsing Ultimate OVAs, which I don't. You can count them if you want.
That's it has that scene where he goes and stands in the fucking water.
Yeah.
Remember that, Bcom? Yes.
It was so and it says this stupid line and we're like, whatever. But anyways, I'm definitely probably going to check out 3 episodes, so it's going to get a 3 from me. It does look a little too emo for my taste, but I'll give it a try.
Bcom, what's your line here? At
What?
the end of
I'm out? I already said that.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, fuck this shit I'm now. Yeah, like, I mean, you say it came from the writer of Osama game. That, like, you couldn't say anything worse except until we get a little later in this document. You could say something worse, but we'll get to that.
I just wanted to hear you sing it, but you weren't going to do it, so it's fine.
I don't know the song. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'll forgive you. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see this just plummet in watching, like in ratings. Like, I imagine the first episode, a lot of people will be watching this, and then you'll just see it like just dive to the bottom of the Mal list.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if it just bombs either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I want it to work. I think Brains does too.
I do too. Yeah, I gave it a 3 because I'm definitely going to check it out. You know, I don't know. Like next season's like so crazy. I don't know if it's even going to be like reviewed or impressed on the podcast, but I'll get to it on my own.
All right. Show number 10, Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory from Studio Zebek.
Okay, so like I'm going to watch it because it's Full Metal Panic and I love everything Full Metal Panic. Mm-hmm. But this is from the same anime studio that did To Love Ru and Keijo, and that's like the things that they're most known for. So I think this is going to be more like Full Metal Panic X fan service. Like
listen, To Love Ru was fantastic. If this is some fan service in it, I'm down.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't mean it'll be a terrible
Panic.
Anime. It's just like that's my prediction. Is that this is going to be more like the comedy fan servicey, like spinoff.
I hope they don't go back to that because like that's what Fumofu was supposed to be. Like Fumofu's all comedy, so like I don't want to see go back to season 1 where it's mix a bunch of comedy in with the seriousness that does like causes this cognitive dissonance in you that makes you want to like strangle a child.
I mean, yeah, my favorite was the second season, so I would rather it be something more serious, but it's probably going to be Fumofu based on the studio.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I just watched the whole first season, and that had quite a bit of fan service in it. Like, so they could go back to that weird balance of seriousness and fan service. I don't know if they've said what they're looking to do with this, but I'll say that the director, Katsuichi Nakayama, he's like worked as a key animator or assistant director on everything from like Evangelion as well as like Perfect Blue. So he seems to know what he's doing. The CGI that was in the PV did not look fantastic. But yeah, I'm just curious to see what this ends up being more like Fumofu or Second Raid. I'm very curious to see how that ends up.
Mm-hmm.
I know absolutely nothing about Full Metal Panic. So it's just got a 1 for me. It sounds like one of these two guys will make me end up watching it if it actually turns out pretty good. But that's all I got.
I gave it a 4 because if you don't know Full Metal Panic, you need to go watch some. If you're a mech fan and you don't know Full Metal Panic, you need to go watch some. And at the very least, watch the first season so you can watch Fumofu with some context.
Yeah, and really the only mech I've ever seen was like Gundam Wing when it was back on Cartoon Network.
That's the only mech you've ever placed wrong.
I don't know.
Make sure you watch this Gundam be considered a mech? Divers.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann is kind of a mech show.
Okay, so I've seen that one too.
That's a super robot show. Yeah. So that's mech because like Gundam Wing is real robot. Gurren Lagann is super robot.
Mm-hmm.
Macross is real robot. The only
two I could think of right now.
There's quite a few of them.
What about a political?
You've watched Darling
show?
in the Franxx. That's a super robot.
I guess so.
Friends, what about a political robot show? The next one. It's not even a robot show.
The political show?
Battleship space opera.
You want to know what the political robot show was? Do you really want to know?
O?
It's called Plastic Memories.
Oh my god. God damn it.
Chobits.
Moving on.
Chobits.
Chobits, yes. I love Chobits.
How is that political?
It is.
Did you see where that off switch was?
It's got serious debates in it. Like on.
Did you see
like,
where the off switch was?
I don't see how the location of the off switch being in her vagina it makes it political.
It makes
Well,
it
actually,
very
considering our
political.
president,
Serious.
never mind,
That's
brains.
political.
You're right. Considering our president, it is political. You're 100% right. Okay, let's
Right,
move on.
like
Show 11.
How is community gonna react? How is the community gonna react when you have to reset your robot and you don't get consent first? Like, I'm just saying.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good.
Ouch.
Show 11 is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the remake by Production IG. This isn't exactly a remake. It is sort of a retelling that is going to be more accurate to the original novels than the original OVAs were. So it will be adapting slightly different material.
I am giving this show some serious side eye while tacitly agreeing to watch it because right now they've only greenlit like a very small amount of episodes. I think 12 plus like 2 movies, and like the original Galactic Heroes is like God knows like 140 episodes or some shit. Like I do not trust them. But
Closer
they're
to
gonna
like
be
152.
Yeah, so like how the fuck, like I don't know if they're gonna greenlit more later, like, but then again, the way that anime is now, like you don't know if they're gonna greenlit more. They might just give up on the project, like they might be trying to cut things from the original story, and if they do, I'm gonna be fucking pissed as all shit, because like that's, no, I don't like it when shows do that.
Best anime
so.
property of all time. They probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, so I'm giving this some like serious side eye, but I'll give it a shot.
I'm just glad
also,
it brought people to watching the old series.
That's true. Also, they
Yeah,
got
that's a good
rid
bonus.
of the cool like shoulder cage plate mail thingies like on their chests that was in the
Yeah.
original, and I'm kind of upset about that because those were cool.
Yeah.
I bet it'll be back.
So I watched 26 episodes of the original series over like the past month. So like the first full season of OVAs. And I'm definitely giving this a 4 rating because like just from watching that much of it, I'm very confident in saying this is one of the greatest anime ever made. It is incredibly good.
It is good.
I'm also not a fan of the new character designs. They look like Kuroko no Basuke, and that's because the team that's working on this in Production IG is the team that made Kuroko no Basuke. So they know how to make Kuroko no Basuke hair. They don't know how to make fluffy 80s OVA hair.
I do like the prettiness of the boys. Like it is.
I mean, that's fine. They look okay for like modern standards. I will say that the part that worries me is the involvement of the CG, not in terms of the ship battles, because in the previews, like the ships look awesome. Like they look great. And like the ship
As they
battles in
should.
the original Legend of Galactic Heroes, they're, you know, of their time. They look fine for their time, but these look freaking great for CG. And the problem comes when the character models are moving in CG as well, which does not work nearly as well. So I'm worried about that. If this show is entirely in CG, that's going to be very hard to watch compared to the original. But yeah,
This is
I'll be watching this.
all I
Yeah,
know.
this is another show I don't know anything about.
Yeah. All I know is if they cut major like plot lines, then I'm gonna cut them, and I'm gonna be really upset.
I mean, they're only doing 12 episodes at first, though, is the thing. So, like,
I
there's
know.
at least half of the first season is getting cut.
I
So,
know,
like,
I know.
no,
So I'm like pissed. So
Okay, so like I don't think that's what's gonna be, because actually those movies are coming out pretty close after the end of the series in Japan.
Oh,
For
okay.
us, that's gonna be like a year from now. But like I've done like a lot of reading on it, and like so the movies are actually I believe there's 3 movies actually. Maybe I'm wrong, but the reboot is specifically it sounds like it's going to they're just going to start from the beginning and readapt for the new era, because I mean, which is why I'm excited about it. But like so they're going to do it's going to be split into 2 seasons, and they're basically just going to do the star-crossed arc in 12 and the stellar war arc in
Okay.
in that movie as 3 films. They're going to do 3 films for season 2, basically, and those will be premiering in Japanese theaters in 2019. So like all said and done, it's pretty quickly afterwards. So I think what they're going to adapt that first arc, really, is what they're doing.
All right.
So
We'll see. I like I said, I don't trust it, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because I would like to see it adapted to be more modern.
It looks really political, is it?
It is.
It is,
yeah.
but it's really interesting politics, and it's very, very applicable to current United States politics and military politics.
That just turns me off even more when you put it that way.
Come on. Leo, you gotta at least. Yeah.
It's in a good way, right? It's not in like a terrible makes you want to rip your eyes out kind of way. Mm-hmm. It's you'll be able to draw a lot of interesting things, and they're replacing the original voice actor with Mamoru Miyano for Reinhard. So like they've got some quality voice actors. And Mamoru Miyano is like one of the few Japanese voice actors I know the name of.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, let's move on. Show number 12, Saredo Sumobito wa Ryu to Odoru, or Dances with the Dragons from Seven Arcs Pictures. What do you think, Kat?
Okay, so I saw a couple PVs. The characters, like, I guess they're supposed to be boys, but they're like the kind of pretty boys that sort of also look like they might be girls. Like, it's hard to tell at first glance. The plot seems to be all over the place. Basically, there's something about complicated spell casting that's sort of like the way they talk about it seems to be kind of science-y, like spell casting, but more science-based. And then they're using it to fight dragons. I don't know. It just seems like it's too chaotic for it to really to be anything.
Yeah, I took one look at this synopsis in this PV, and the only thing I could write down was just light novel bullshit. Like, it just looks like light novel bullshit to me. I don't know. Maybe a couple episodes will come out and it'll be really super interesting, but it's not doing itself any favors with the previews for me. What do you think?
The only thing I could gather from watching the previews was that physics didn't apply. So I only gave it a 2.
Brains?
And there's his reaction.
It's a 1, and if you watch this, God help your soul.
Leo, could you introduce the next show in the appropriate way?
I don't know what you're asking for, so
The yell.
The yell.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. Number 13, Golden Kamuy from Geno Studio. Dude, the guy who yells it in that PV was like, that was impressive. I mean,
it is like he reaches to the deepest, darkest part of his throat.
And he yelled from like deep down in his lungs. I was like, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah. The PV for this is fucking awesome. Like, it's gonna have some great action scenes. The animation, like, you can tell they put some like serious cash on this. It's like pretty shiny, like slick. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I have this at a 4. Like Geno Studio, who were working on Kokoku, are working on this. Now, I have some worries about that. Not because Kokoku is like badly written or anything. Kokoku has had some animation problems in the past, in the later episodes. So my big hope with that is that like people just left to go work on Golden Kamuy instead at the studio. But I don't know. We'll see. The OP itself is being done by the band Man with a Mission, who are really good at making hype OPs. Mm-hmm. They've worked on like, I don't know, I think they've worked on like Log Horizon and Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Brother and Orphans and stuff. So we have that to look forward to. I'm curious how the relationship between the main dude and the Ainu girl plays out. The Ainu are like this indigenous tribe in Japan who are often not treated well publicly by the Japanese. They're kind of like, there's a lot of bigotry against them and just like some weird things. The last time Japan made an anime revolving around an Ainu girl, it was called Kumamiko, and that did not go well, let me tell you. The other big thing I'm looking forward to this is the soundtrack composer is Kenichiro Suehiro, who did the Girls Last Tour soundtrack, ReZero soundtrack, and Space Patrol Luluko. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 3. I love the animation in the trailer. Like even the action scenes, like even it was just like her rolling looked really crisp and whatnot. And I already said I thought the voice was awesome. And yeah, shout out to the composer for this because I really like some of the work this guy's done.
Also, I forgot to mention, this covers like a weird period of history that's like never covered. It's like shortly after the Russo-Japanese War. So that's kind of interesting time period to place an anime in.
Mm-hmm. I rated this a 2 because I have too much going on next season to take time to watch this. I don't think it means it's bad, but like unless it's really good, and I hear that, I'm not gonna probably pick it up.
So basically, if it is super good, we got to tell you so you can watch it.
Yeah, basically. But my only thought is it'll probably get picked up for impressions for our show. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I'll probably end up watching it, but on my own. Probably not. Maybe later if there's a slow season, but sounds like this year is actually going to be pretty popping because we're getting like Gunsmith Cats, new OVA, all sorts of things, new Baki the Grappler. But my one thought is maybe me and Bullets could talk about other Russia. So that's the thing.
All right, next show, number 14, Tada-kun wa koi o shinai, or Tada Doesn't Fall in Love, from Studio Dogakobo.
So the PV is very pretty, but it's so cheesy. It's kind of making me yak a little. Like, it just seems like the same generic kind of romance that we've seen like how many fucking times, and it never is good. And it's always like they just kind of bumble around each other like all season and nothing happens, and they look longingly at each other, but they don't say they love each other. And it's going to be one of those. And I'll put up like $50 that it ends up as anything else. I'm just saying.
I can't take that bet right now. Yeah, I have this at a 3 because I love romance shows, but I'm with Kat that this looks like an extremely traditional romance. Just, very cutesy, very nice and soft and not edgy at all. I'm very wary of the studio Dogakobo because they are often hit and miss with me, but the director of the show is Mitsue Yamazaki, who directed Monthly Girls and Ozaki-kun, which is like the best thing Dogakobo has ever done. And I'm kind of sad that he's working on this and not a season 2 of Monthly Girls with Ozaki-kun, but whatever. Also in the PV, there's a super fat cat walking around, and that has that going for it. So,
yeah, I gave it a 2. I'm not big on romance, and this show looks super slow. So I'm probably definitely not even going to watch. Probably should have just put a 1. But
I gave it a 2 because it looks like it might be fun, but mostly looks like it's going to be junk.
Okay. Next show, number
Leo
15.
should introduce the next one.
Okay.
Number 15 is Mahou Shoujo Site by Production Doa, whoever they are. But so I have an interesting take on this one. I'm still reading the manga. It's still ongoing. I'm not going to pick it up. I know everything that's going to happen, and I'm more interested in what people are going to be thinking about it, because I mean this show gets extremely brutal, and if they censor this, it's going to be completely unwatchable.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it seems like it's kind of like a Madoka Magica tournament style, like magic girls fight each other, but that's just my impression.
I have a better explanation for what it looks like. It looks like somebody read Battle Royale and then watched Madoka Magica and was like, what would be fun?
But they already did that. It was called Magical Girl Raising Project.
It is kind of like that.
Okay, it's like, here, hold my beer as I combine these two shows.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not excited.
The only thing Studio Production Doa has done is the Order a Rabbit Dear Sister movie, which I don't know if that was any good or not. A lot of people like Is the Odor a Rabbit? It's not my thing. The PV doesn't seem to have done this any favors, as the PV just looks pretty dumb. Like, it's the worst kind of dark magical girl setup for me. Basically just a tournament killing spree for shock value. The main girl's gun has a barrel shaped like a heart with wings attached to it. I don't know. The description, the synopsis talks about like the main girl's like trauma coming from her brother, like physically abusing her, and that's why she becomes a magical girl. So it's just as dark and edgy as possible right off the bat. I don't know.
I mean,
that's why I
bro,
think
you're not ready for another Junie Tyson?
Yeah, that's okay. So, like, you know how popular
no, I'm
Junie
really not,
Tyson
'cause it
was,
wasn't that
like,
good.
even though it was shit. That's why I think this show will be popular, because like people seem to love this like overly violent tournament stuff, even if it ends up not being amazing.
Man, if they want that, then they need to adapt Dead Tube.
Dead 2. Oh, I've never heard of that.
Tube, like YouTube, but Dead Tube.
Oh, interesting.
That's got some pretty brutal deaths. I actually enjoy it, but I think that stuff's kind of cool sometimes.
Well, sometimes when you've had enough of 2D girls, you need a 3D girl, and that's what this next show is about. 3D Kanojo, a real girl, by Hoods Entertainment.
Okay, so this is like manic pixie anime girl, kind of. Mm-hmm. Like
basically.
Yeah, no. I gave it a 1. I'm not watching that bullshit.
Yeah, I gave it a 2. I read the synopsis and watched the PV, and it seems to be like a show about an otaku who kind of just blames women and hates women for everything that goes wrong in his life. But then he one day bumps into this special manic pixie dream girl who thinks he's amazing. And he has to decide whether he wants a real 3D waifu because he's so used to his 2D waifus. Oh, no.
And
are you insinuating 2D waifus are not real?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't put me in anime jail.
And of course, this bitch is just going to wait around for him to decide, like all season.
And this is from the director of Token Ranbu Hanamaru, which is like the real fan servicey, like pretty boy Token Ranbu.
Yeah.
I would be completely out on this, but the one thing I think it had going for it was Hitomi Mieno, who's doing series composition for this. And she wrote series composition for Noragami, Flying Witch, Amanchu, Akagami no Shiryuki Hime. So she knows what she's doing at least. But I'm just really hesitant on the premise. The other thing going on with this is the studio, Hoods Entertainment, who did like the show Drifters, which was pretty good. They're also currently working on Märchen Mädchen, the show this season that had like the naked girl running around with a book covering her in the first episode. But the the weird thing going on with that show right now is that the animation like quality has plummeted like through the floor to like 9th level of hell. It is so bad. Like it's all over Twitter, just the terrible.
Oh my God.
Pictures.
As the animators were drawing it, they were just
ruins,
like covered in flames, like crying.
So yeah, that studio is not in a good place going into making this anime. So we'll have to see what happens.
This will be hot trash. This will be some bullshit.
So I'm going to give it a 3. I definitely want to check it out, but it's really going to depend on how the development relationship between the two progresses. If it starts feeling slow, I'm just out immediately. I don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
I'm sorry. Our guest host, my cat, is like making loud noises.
Your cat gives it a meow out of 4.
That's
Brains,
a very
high
high score. I'm giving it a 3 only because it's a shoujo.
Okay.
A lot of shoujo tend to be like, so like what you said earlier about like it seems like a guy who hates women and blames women. Like a shoujo is targeted towards women, so I feel like that's going to be something that's curbed pretty early on or throughout the show. So I'm gonna give it a 3, and I'm gonna give it a shot because they tend to do okay. And with the particular subject matter of this, like if I just read it as it is, I'm like ooh. But when I take into account that it's a shoujo manga that it's adapting, I have more faith in it because like it's not fan service. or it's not designed to be fan service necessarily. So is what I usually find out when I watch shoujo and josei. If anything, it's boy fan service or yuri fan service. So I'm gonna give it a
next
shot.
show, number 17, is Hinamatsuri from Studio Feel. I want to read a little bit of the synopsis from this because it's kind of funny.
Oh boy.
So one night, a strange object falls on the head of Nita, a member of the Yakuza. Inside the box is a strange young girl named Hina. She has tremendous supernatural powers, and Nita finds himself reluctantly taking her in. And like that, it goes on from there. So it's like a Yakuza who has like a little girl fall out of the sky in like a box suitcase thing into his life.
I am so okay. I love anything with Yakuza in it. I don't know why. I adore them. Like any show.
It's kind of like
with
Bullets'
Yakuza in
love for Nazis.
It's a little different from that.
So
Is it
I will
though?
fucking be watching this.
Oh, you're really gonna like this, Kat.
Oh boy, I'm excited. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just adore Yakuza and anime.
I have this at a 2. I'm kind of in between a 2 and a 3. I just saw some warning signs in the PV for me personally with the fact that the girl is naked in the PV and
That's
she's
like the one
pretty
and
young.
only time.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be really funny. The director, Kei Oikawa, directed Oregairu Season 2, which was excellent. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I think it's just going to be very, very funny show, though.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4. I really enjoyed this manga. It's so freaking funny. The humor is mostly like a dry and deadpan type of humor. It's a lot of them with just like this, like this face, and they're just like, almost looks like they're dead inside, but they're in this like ridiculous situation and they don't know how to get themselves out of it. Man, I love it. And like we all know by now, I don't watch anime that I've read the manga from, but I'm going to watch this one, so that's got to say something.
Wow. Okay.
I just hope they really play up that he's like in the Yakuza. Like I hope they use her for like illegal activities and shit.
I'm sure they will.
I'm just excited.
Oh my God, you're... Kat, I'm going to say it again. You're going to love this freaking show.
Yes, here we go. Okay.
All right, Brains, what do you think?
I think that one, y'all are crazy, and this will be trash. So I give it a 1. And also, I put here in bold in the document because at this point I had seen all of Leo's ratings so far, and I was like, Leo, stop reading manga.
From now on,
literally
whenever
your reason to ignore good shows.
Whenever Leo says he's read the manga, like we should all just give him his like black top hat so that he can put it on and
a
act
cane.
like act superior to us all. Yeah. As we roll our eyes.
And a monocle. He needs a monocle.
Yes.
All right, next show, number 18, Piano no Mori from Fukushima Gainax. Wow, haven't heard that name in a while. Gainax coming back. Kat, what do you think?
I'm excited. The movie was really well rated. It seems like something I'm going to be really into. Yeah, I see shipping in the show's future, though. Like, have you even seen, like, some of the PVs and everything? Like, there's totally, like, some heavy shipping going on. But, like...
There's some pretty boys.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be canon. In all serious, it looks like a good show that's going to have some Fujoshi, like, fan love on its side, pushing it forward. So, while being a serious show with a serious plot as well. So, it'll be good.
Yeah, I plan to watch the movie that came out a few years back, actually probably a while back now. I have this at a 3 for sure because I'm definitely going to give it a shot.
It's a good movie.
There was a preview for this show that they put out that I thought was really interesting because it turns out that they cast for each pianist who's in this show, they cast like a different professional person who is like, most of them are like Chopin piano competition winners. So, but each piano player in the show has their own piano player in real life. Even some of the child pianists who are in the show have like junior piano players like playing their parts for them. So it's pretty cool that they went to that like level of detail. I'm just curious to see how well the actual piano playing is animated as compared to something like Your Lie in April, which took some shortcuts but had some really nice moments, and then like Kids on the Slope, which had no shortcuts and just looked gorgeous. So we'll see how well they do with that. I'm curious. You don't get much from the PV. So
yeah, I got this out of 1. I'm sure I would really like the music, especially since you said they're using like actual professionals. So I would like the music, but the premise to me sounds awful, and I feel like Bcom's going to shove this down my throat anyways. So.
Only if it's good. Only if it's good.
As an aside, I wonder if Mitsugi knows that they're going to have like real pianists playing all of this, because I feel like if he did, this would be like his number 1 like most exciting show for next season, because he fucking loves piano. I don't know.
It's true. And Chopin. Yeah.
So
Brains, what do you think?
I rated it a 4 because I loved the movie, and I'm not a wuss, so I'm gonna follow it up.
there you go. Go you, Brains.
Nice. All right. Next show, number 19, Caligula from Studio Satellite. What do you think, Kat?
This is just like a disappointment in the making. Like, it's a sci-fi anime. The PV is like terribly done. Like, every season I get excited for all the sci-fi shows. I like hope that they're gonna come up with something that I'm gonna enjoy watching, and every season they just like horribly disappoint me and just make me like go into the corner and like cry. So I'm not even expecting much of it. Like
keeping your hopes in the dirt.
Yeah, pretty much. What about y'all?
Yeah, I also have this at a 1. Nothing between the PV or any of the staff that are on this anime like inspired any confidence in me. And then the PV had a bunch of whisper singing that should have been left back in the 2000s, in my opinion. Like, it has no place in 2018. I'm sorry. So that's where I'm at with this one.
I got mine at a 2.5. I'm gonna try it, but I'm very wary.
He's got world-weary eyes. He's like, he knows what's coming.
And I think a little bit like Kat, I would like a good sci-fi, but
Me too. Yeah. It's called Steins Gate Zero.
They've burned us too many times.
Brains, what do you think?
I think I'm going to watch this show because it looks like my kind of trash.
well said.
Nice. My kind of trash is coming up later, so I can identify with that. Next show, number 20, the Captain Tsubasa remake from David Production, famous for JoJo.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Kat, what do you think?
I like sports anime a lot, so I'm probably going to watch it unless it's terrible. I did notice the animation is a little weird on this. It's almost like they're trying to mimic how like an early 2000s anime looked like in terms of the animation, more than a modern anime style. It's kind of weird seeing it now, but like I'm optimistic. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, they keep all of the old like Captain Tsubasa character design, so like in that sense it does look a little bit dated, but I think it looks all right from the PVs.
It's not bad. It's just like a different style than you see nowadays. It's a little jarring, but it's not bad. So
the director of the JoJo's Diamond is Unbreakable is the one who's directing this. My main problem in general with soccer anime, like I like sports anime in general, but soccer anime I've had problems with in the past because they never animate the whole field in anything but still shots because it's just too difficult to animate that many people moving. So like it always ends up as this one-on-one like supernatural thing, and like not as much as like Inazuma 11, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, but it just ends up as this thing that's like barely a team sport. And it's just like speed lines as people push the ball up the field and then, do a couple moves and score. So I don't know. And it also looks like this is a little bit more for kids than adults. So I'm hedging on this one. I've got this at a 2 out of 4.
A 1. I hate soccer. What do you think, Brain?
As clear as you can be.
I gave it a 3 because I like Captain Tsubasa, and if I have time to watch it, I will watch it.
Cool. All right, nothing much else to say about that one until we see it. So, moving on, show 21, Megalo Box from TMS Entertainment.
Okay, so this show has been like, the money has been poured down this show's throat as if it is a foie gras goose. Like, the PV is absolutely sickening. The song is sickening. Like, give it to me now. Like, this is going to be amazing. Like, they put a lot of money in this.
It looks real damn good. The person doing the music is called Maba Nua. I don't know who they are, but I'm going to find out. At least I'm going to get the soundtrack for this show. Because, just listening to the PV, I'm super hype. Based on like the animation and art as well. I just need to know if there's going to be good characters in this. I hope there will be. This is a follow-up. Like, this is like the 50th anniversary project for the Ashita no Joe series, which is like a really old, like really well-renowned boxing anime. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you need to have watched Ashita no Joe necessarily. Nope. But yeah, have you watched Ashita no Joe, Brains?
Yeah, I have watched it. It's set like 50 years in the future, something like that. Like, it's well after Joe's time. So, I mean, I think like the cool thing about it is basically Junkyard is Joe. Like, not even kidding. Like, they basically just made a new character that looks almost exactly like him. So it's just going to be the Ashita no Joe story with a new twist and with mecha boxing gloves.
Yeah, like real steel or something. That part's kind of interesting.
Badass.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Oh my god, the part where he's like punching with like the weird like iron that extends onto his arm, and oh man.
I'm going to need to suspend my disbelief unless they say that like they have like steel implanted in their jaws and their cranium too or something. Yeah. Because like you can't take a punch like that. It's like you can't.
Well, what if they could?
Just die.
Like this looks like it's a little bit of cyberpunk meets Ashita no Joe. Yeah. So I wonder if they're kind of cybernetically augmented.
I hope they are. I think that would be really cool, and that would like I would be like, okay, I'm on board with this. But if they aren't, I'm gonna be like, that's a little much. I don't know. We'll see.
Although we haven't seen the end of those gloves, right? Or maybe they do show them in the PV, but I don't remember seeing the end of them because maybe they do have padding on them, like some sort of ballistic gel.
Yeah, could be. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't usually give sports anime a chance, but I'm gonna give this one a 3 and give it a go because it does look pretty cool.
Nice.
If you aren't watching this show this season, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, take a good hard look at your life and then come back. Like, if you're not planning on watching this, because like, no, you need to be watching this fucking show.
If you like sports anime.
No, if you like anime,
but I think
you
most
need to be
people
watching
can get behind
this show.
a boxing anime.
Like, with how much money they put into this, like, even if you don't usually watch sports anime, like, you should be fucking watching this show. Like, what's wrong with you? Just saying.
Brains, how did you rate this show?
I believe I might have sort of given it a 4 because it's the Ashita no Joe anniversary. Like Kat said, if you aren't watching this boxing anime, you're probably not ready for quality sports shows. That's my opinion. But like, there's no reason not to watch this. Like, and I also had a Bcom won't need context, but if he has it, then it will enrich his experience. Only because they'll do a lot of call outs because it's the anniversary. So
yeah, that makes sense.
And the original show is really good.
All right. Show number 22, Dorei-ku the Animation from studios TNK and Zero G. Okay. Kat, you read this.
Yeah, so I read the manga of this, and like, it'll be interesting how like graphic they get, because like the earlier show that Leo said, like if they censor it, that's not going to end well. Like it's gonna be the same with this one. So like it's based on something like a plot that would never fly if a Western like company ever did this. So it's based on like kind of a modern slavery system and commentary on that. And I feel like if any company in the West even touched this, like you remember when HBO decided they were going to do that show on the Civil War, and then like that tanked within 24 hours because they got so much backlash. Like that's what would happen. The reason I feel like it's okay in Asia is because they don't have our history, that we do in the West. So it's not as taboo. Basically, there's like this weird plate thing that you put like on the roof of your mouth, and it makes it so that whoever has the control like controls you, and you're basically like their servant now.
It's like voluntary slavery, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So like you have people who are forced to put the plate in their mouth. Then you have people who choose to do so. You have people who like gamble their freedom for like different things. A lot of it is just like these giant groups of like servants with the one master, and they go up against each other, like one group against the other, and like weird. Now there are some really fucking graphic parts of it. Like at one point, one of the guys like has a bunch of girls that he's prostituting out to get money, and they're all slave girls. It has different interesting commentary, like how some people choose to be in this situation, and some people are made to be in this situation, and the different ways that people act when they're in different situations. It's interesting, but I don't know how the anime is going to be, because like it could be shit. So we'll see.
And that's what I expect, which is why I gave it a 1. So I read the synopsis. I looked at the PV. The synopsis starts off with, "What if you could enslave anyone you wanted to?" And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Like as a premise, I'm like not interested in how great it would be if we could have slavery again.
It's really about like kind of capitalism and how like it would actually
and BDSM,
be bad.
It looks like, right?
A little bit of BDSM, but like really it's about like how the idea sounds great to some people, but then oh shit, it's terrible. Like that's kind of what the anime is, or the
I mean,
manga
if this could definitely turn me around, if it ends up being an intelligent commentary on slavery and the problems with it and why it's universally wrong and terrible, then yeah, I would be interested in this. We'll see if it ends up being that. I don't know.
What were you saying, Brains?
I was gonna say I got some things that might change some Bcom mind and some cat mind to say about it.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3 because I'm really interested in how they are going to tackle the slavery. I mean, that's going to sell me on the show or not. So I'm definitely going to check it out. And I just from the PV, it looks like the action scenes could be pretty crazy. So I hope that happens. But what do you think, Brains?
So like I just realized that the internet exists as a thing, and I can find things that would help reinforce my belief in this. So I just changed my rating from a 3 to a 4. I said on the doc, I said, it's okay. Bcom has to stick up his ass about BDSM and dystopias.
I don't have a stick up my ass about BDSM. It's about slavery.
Well, then you don't like dystopias. Listen, you must hate the book Fahrenheit 451. Anyways, I said, listen, I think I don't know what this will be, but I bet it will be great to dissect as a show. Now, the things that I was going to say is, one, they've made a live action adaptation that is called Tokyo Slaves, is the translated name. I don't know how good that is. I don't know how well it did, but I'm guessing like most Japanese movies, to us, not that good, but to them, probably decent. But the biggest thing is I looked up the scheduling for it. It is scheduled to be on ATX. It'll be on at 12:30 at night. So on Saturdays at 12:30, and ATX is a cable channel.
That gives me hope.
BS, like Netflix will be streaming it. And with them having done Crybaby and Altered Carbon, I'm down. And then BS11 and Tokyo MX are going to show it in the 1:00 a.m. time slot. So, and those are the network channels. So,
did you say Netflix?
Netflix has the streaming rights to it.
Okay, then it probably
so I think
won't
Netflix
be,
is probably behind this, honestly.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So this will be.
I think it'll be a solid adaptation. Right? Like their originals have been kind of but like their adaptations have been good. Like Violet Evergarden
also probably won't be
great.
censored then.
Right. I bet it won't be. Yeah. At least when it gets to Netflix or when it's on ATX. They might have a censored version for Tokyo MX and BS11, but actually I'm not sure if BS11 is a regular broadcasting station. I believe it is though. But ATX is cable. So I do know that. So I think it won't be censored. I think they're going to go balls to the wall with it. And I think that, like Kat said, it sounds like it's going to be a dissection of extreme capitalism and what people will do for things. I don't know. I do have one question for Kat. Kat, what are the circumstances that many of them are forced into it other than like a bet or
so some
selling?
of them are tricked into it. Like
Okay.
some of them, like they don't know what it is and they put it in their mouth. Some of them like are literally forced to put it in their mouth, like at gunpoint. There's a lot of different characters in the manga. So it'll be interesting how many of those characters end up in the anime.
Okay.
Because a lot of the chapters like focus on a different person who discovers this device and like what they end up doing with it. Like whether they
So you
and how
think
they
it'll
end up
be like a
changing
little
because
bit of like
it.
a short story format, like where they tell us individual stories of these various people, kind of like a what was that horror show? A Paranoia Agent,
It
with a
could
common
but
theme.
There's also an overlying like
Okay,
plot underneath of it. So like there's two main groups of like slave families that end up
Okay.
kind of fighting it out. I don't know how else to put that.
so I think I think honestly this will be very interesting because I am. It sounds like it'll have a lot of ethical and moral ramifications that are brought up in the show. I don't
Yes.
see the show being made without that.
Yeah, so like there's like both
Especially
of the leaders
considering
of
it's
those,
seinen.
Yeah, of those groups have very different ideas of like what they're gonna do if they win that like fight between the two of them,
Right.
and it's interesting. So
All right. Well, we've talked about that one enough. Well, I mean, we just have to see it to believe it, I guess.
Bcom the doubter.
Move on. Let's move on to the next one. 23, Shiyan Pin Jiating, which has no studio listed whatsoever. Kat, you think this
Okay.
is what?
So
It does have a studio.
what is the name of that girl that gets turned
Nina.
into a dog?
It's-
Nina. So
Yes.
there is a dog
Yes.
in this anime that looks exactly like Nina from Full Metal Alchemist. And I was like, what
You do.
the fuck is this? Like, I think they did it on
Yeah,
purpose.
It's weird.
Like,
So
So
it's
yeah,
terrible.
this it's the synopsis says the series centers on a family where both parents are mad scientists and where both brother and sister are modded humans called creatures, and the family members aim to become a normal quote unquote family. Like so, like one of the girls in this is like literally like a beetle girl, like with legs coming out of her back. Another girl has like, I don't know, like holly coming out of her head. It's weird. I don't know. And it's just weird, awkward, modded family.
I
This is
can't
from
remember
a
what
Chinese
all
production
these,
company.
Yeah, I can't remember what all these like creatures are called in folklore, but these are all based off of mythical creatures.
Yeah. So it's from a Chinese production company. In general, for me, that's been a terrible sign in anime. The PV doesn't look that bad, though, but also doesn't really say much about the show. The biggest problem for these like Chinese produced shows that I've found has been just horrible writing and really bad toilet humor. So I'm hoping that this show doesn't keep up that trend. I'm sure the girl with the beetle legs coming out of her back is going to attract some Monster Girl fans. I'm sure she'll get some fan art. But yeah, the Chimera dog from FMA is really awkward. It looks
Yeah.
Beetle
exactly
leg,
the
and I
same.
thought
They're
Spider
spider
legs.
It's spider. She's crossed with a spider, I think. Maybe she's crossed with a
Oh,
beetle.
really? I think she's a beetle. I don't know.
I think she's crossed with a spider though. But that does
Yeah.
you say that and it kind of looks more beetle pincer like. So yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry. I examined her very closely, Brains.
I'm sure you did.
Just
So-
where did you examine her, Bcom?
He was looking for her switch.
Leo saved me.
So I've made two
nobody's
observations
can
at this
save
point. This is the first one that we all gave it the exact same rating, a 2. And that after this point, everybody except Bcom in every single show wrote 1 or maybe 2 sentences. So this looks like the falling off point for most of us.
Yeah, most of us are like, after this.
Yeah. But I just wonder if they're going to do parallels with the like real world handicaps somehow.
Yeah, that would be
if
interesting.
they did that, that'd be cool. That'd be kind of neat. You know, like Interviews with Monster Girls kind of did that.
Right.
And it wasn't too bad. But
Brains, what do you think about this one?
So I gave it a 2 because like I want to give it a shot, mostly because it sounds like it'll be fun to rip on. But it is a Taiwanese manhwa, which is written by a Hong Kong artist who literally owns, apparently, and this is important apparently, in the article, guys, he owns 5 dogs. There are 5 characters.
That explains the Chinese production company then.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just waiting for one of these to get it right. Like there are shorts that have been good and they were bads for so long. I'm just waiting for one of these manhwa adapteds to be good, and it's got to come soon. It's got to come soon because eventually they're just going to refine it.
Because manhwa are as good as manga, and like a lot of them have higher followings than some manga. So like it's gonna come at some point.
Mm-hmm. And they're in color.
Oh, they're in wonderful color. Mm-hmm. Especially their hentai. Right. Yeah. So anyway, on that note.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Show number 24, Amanchu Advance, which is the second season of Amanchu from JC Staff. What do you think, Kat?
I'm going to try. Like I had this on my list when I saw the second season was coming out to try and watch the first season. It looks like something I would enjoy. I think it's going to be one of those shows where, like, if you like the first season, you will watch the second season. If you didn't like the first season, you're not going to watch this. Like, if they're not going to get any new fans, but, like, you know, the fandom will continue on kind of thing. How about you, Bcom?
Yeah, so this is, you know, one of my favorite Iyashike shows, Amanchu. I've got this at a 4. My only complaint about season 1, this is a show about girls that like learn how to scuba dive and go scuba diving. But season 1 did not have a lot of scuba diving because there was mostly learning how to scuba dive and just not actually going and doing it. So I'm really hoping that season 2
it looks like
picks it up in that regard. It looks like they're adding even more cute girls to the cast. Maya Sakamoto is returning to perform the ED, and she did unbelievably good work on the OP, Million Clouds, for the first season. Mm-hmm. That OP is incredible.
This is why there's like a weird dichotomy in Bcom's mind where he is a feminist, and he does get upset with some shows for like degrading women, but then he's in love with these like cutesy girl shows where like they're just so adorable and cute and and they have no real like personality. Like
they do have personality though. They get into their personality. It's actually a well-written show. Like this is not like a cute girls doing cute things. We're gonna get into some of those in a little bit because there's a bunch of them at the bottom of this list.
And you're so excited for them.
Oh yeah.
Only one of them. But yeah, like this. And that's okay. This show is great.
Dichotomy in your personality, Bcom. It's what makes you interesting.
I don't think there is a dichotomy. I would argue with you on that because I think like this show like respects women, like, and it's about women as lead characters as well. Like I don't know, like, and this from like legendary director Junichi Sato, who did the whole Aria series. Like he is the king of Iyashike shows. So yeah, it's more from him, and he's like a master of what he does. And you should watch this, I think.
I didn't watch the first season, so not going to watch the second.
Okay.
Brains?
I'm giving it a 1. No, I'm good on Wetsuit, the anime. Fight me, Bcom. Fight me.
You're fighting yourself. You're just fighting against good anime. That's all you're doing.
I'm fighting against trash, but you know.
Now I'm just imagining
even if just for the reaction faces.
Now I'm just imagining trash. Brains like out in like the rain, like trying to fight Bcom, except he's just like fighting himself drunkenly. I don't know.
Oh, man. All right. Show number 25. We're about halfway there, kind of. Kakuryou no Yadomeshi from Gonzo. Kat, what the hell is this?
No. Okay, so this is just another one of these, like, demon boy fantasy shows that's, like, trying to gear itself towards women, but it's so poorly animated. Because for some reason, anime studios seem to think that unlike pretty girl shows that are geared towards men, that, like, pretty boy shows don't need to be animated well, which is false. So like it's not animated well, so it's trash. It's no.
The sad fact is honestly that women don't sell as much anime merch as men do in Japan.
Most of
it's
the time,
getting better.
I don't know how much
think,
Udapri stuff sold.
Well, Udapri sells with everybody because like the idol shows are kind of hard to like pin because like if an idol show has good music, it's got fans,
right?
Because you got to remember, like everybody likes idols in Japan.
I will say Yuri on Ice sold very well.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of cross. There
was a lot of women lining up too. That first week, I remember the stories about that.
Women aren't as interested in physical stuff, but they will buy virtual like stuff. And I think that some companies are starting to realize that more and like market it correctly towards what women will buy. So we'll see.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I have this one at a 1. It's from a first-time director. It's just like a mediocre looking like yokai or demon show, and I haven't even watched Natsume Yuujin yet. So like, I feel like I can't watch this before I watch Natsume Yuujin. What would be the point? So yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I got it at 2. We already said Demon Pretty Boys. I think I'm just want to see one episode out of more of a curiosity and then just get rid of it.
Okay. Brains, you had one word to say about this?
Christ.
That's the word. All right. Next show, number 26, Mahou Shoujo Ore.
I get to read the premise of this. This
yes,
is
you do.
amazing.
It's from Pierrot Plus. That's the studio.
Okay, this is like one of my top shows of the season. This story is about a 15-year-old girl who is a newbie idol in love with her best friend's brother, who is also a popular idol. But she runs into a scary Yakuza guy and finds out that her mother was an ex-magical girl and the Yakuza guy is her mascot. Her love interest gets kidnapped by demons that look like burly men with cute squirrel heads. So she contracts the Yakuza to become a magical girl, which in this story means she turns into a handsome guy in a magical girl outfit. On top of that, her love interest shows an attraction towards her magical guy form. Her best friend turns out to be in love with her and also becomes a magical cross-dressing guy to save her life. Then their manager, who is a magical girl geek, decides to turn them into an idol unit.
That was a lot.
Oh boy.
This is just
That's
chaos and amazingness.
I had to read that synopsis twice because the first time my brain was like,
what's this cognitive dissonance? Like it just halts. It's like, wait, what?
Like, no.
Oh man. I just can't wait to see like her being like, no, my love interest is gay, but now he's interested in me because I'm a man.
Wait, is her love interest a guy? I guess
yes.
Okay.
That's
so
what I was about to call out on your little
yeah,
thing
I will
here.
not read that part of my
who is gay
synopsis
and
then.
like because she turns into a man, like when she transforms, like then he's attracted to her.
Yeah.
Like this should go up like a
amazing.
notch now for you now that you know that it's not lesbian girls kinda.
I don't know. It still's got that one part. So
Well,
this
it
is
is
from
kind
the
of
venerable director of Ark the Lad and
Which is a great
Listen to
game.
Me Girls, I'm Your Father. Two fantastic anime. So it's about, two muscle-bound magical men that have to come together and fight for justice. I don't know. The lolly panty shot in the PV did not help matters with me.
Fair enough.
I will give this 2 episodes to change my mind because I know a lot of people are hype about how dumb it looks, and I'm down for that.
Okay, this
You need
is
3.
going to be like the nuclear standoff Bcom. This is going to be the show that I have in my nuclear arsenal against your pretty derby show that we'll talk about later. And we'll both be holding
What?
them like in the background, like threatening each other with them.
All I'm saying is use your locks wisely this season. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if you want to go nuclear, you can go nuclear. But
all I'm saying, Bcom.
George Bush will go nuclear. I will go nuclear, which is how you say the word. Damn you, George Bush, for ruining a generation of people.
I'll get to that when we get to that show. I'll get to my promise for you.
Yeah, so screw Bcom in his 2 because I'm giving it a 4 also, and I had to read the synopsis twice, and I've become deeply concerned with who thought this idea up and what the hell they were on. This is something good.
Some good drugs.
Some good drugs. The best.
Cranes, what do you think about these pretty boys?
I'm gonna give this magical boys. A 4 because like as soon as I saw that cover art, I was like, I'm sold. Like. Because I said my thoughts that I wrote on the doc were specifically, oh, come on, the show will be great no matter what. Whether it's good or bad, it's just going to be great. And almost...
I love your last sentence.
Yes, and it's almost like JoJo banged a Sailor Scout.
Oh, man.
You know, fight started the next morning and he had to throw an outfit on. Like, it was just a thing.
God. All right, that's going to be interesting. Let's move on, though. Show number 27, Juushinki Pandora from Studio Satellites, which is a mecha show.
Okay, so, like, there's a lot of, like, poorly funded mecha show this season. I don't know what that's about.
Mecha
this is one
waning
of them.
in popularity.
Well, but, like, there's a lot of them, though, because there's usually not any mecha. So, like, I think there's, like, 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that this season, which is a lot, but most of them are not well funded.
Unless it's Gundam or Macross, they're kind of out in the cold.
Yeah.
This is basically Macross because it's from the creator of Macross, Shoji Kawamori. And like I wrote about this show, this looks aggressively like something brains will like a lot. I might like this too. I don't know. I think I'll like the OP. It's by Bump of Chicken, who they always do good stuff. Like the March Comes in Like a Lion OPs and stuff.
I never heard of him before you said that.
In the PV, I was not a fan of the stupid Emoto who was like, Oni-chan. But she is voiced by Nao Toyama, who is Bae. So I don't know. That could be good. So I really don't know what to think of this. I have it as a 2.
There's a lot of CGI, and it's like okay, but it's not great CGI. But like if it can overcome it, it has a chance. We'll see.
Yeah, stop.
I'm going to give it a big 3.
Okay.
Because I could go for a good action sci-fi. And that's all I have to say about it.
I'm going to give it a 4. I said, listen, Bcom is right, but he's only sketch on it because he hasn't embraced the mecha master race. Zeon. Shoji Kawamori's involvement inspires me to watch it. Could be a good dystopian anime, but also it could be terrible. The only thing that has me worried about this anime at all is the boob jiggle in the PV. But other than that, like anything Shoji Kawamori tends to be involved on, at least is interesting, right? Because like the Macross series, of course, he made that, right? But like, I mean, this man did mech design for Space Battleship Yamato, like the original. He did the machine design for that racing anime, Future GPX Cyber Formula. I believe that was the racing anime, if I remember it right. And those were actually really cool. He was the original creator of the Vision of Escaflowne. I mean, you know, Aquarion, despite like some of my problems with like Evil, like Aquarion was really good. Really good mecha designs. Pat Labor, I mean, Eureka 7, it goes on. He designed the Zephyranthes in Stardust Memory and the Phasaelus, which I think were both great mobile suit designs for Gundam. So the only thing like I kind of didn't like that he did was that AKB48 anime, but he's done a lot of things. Nobunaga the Fool was kind of but M3 was great and I think heavily underrated. So it just I have faith. I have faith in the man.
Well, I have faith in this next show, surprisingly.
No. We're gonna
Number
limit
28,
to a
Comic
minute
Girls.
talking about this, Bcom, because you've written quite the fucking synopsis.
Because I have to
of this
defend
show.
why I think this show has a slight shot at being good. So Comic Girls by Studio Nexus. So I guess I'll kick it off.
All right.
This show looks aggressively like a cute little girls being over-sexualized show. I would say that right off the bat.
It looks like
looking at
new
the PV,
game.
everything. What, Brains?
It looks like new game. Say it.
Yeah, it looks like New Game, and I hated New Game, so yes. However, a couple of things make me want to give this a chance. First and foremost, I think it does have a more plot than some of these cute girls doing cute things shows have. Like, unlike Slow Start or Hanako Note, like, it has something going on. The girls are all writing different types of manga, living together, and that idea kind of just sounds fun.
Wasn't
Also,
that the
Studio-
synopsis of Arrow manga, that they were all writing different types of things? They were all authors.
In some ways, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Arrow manga was aggressively what it was, like, right off the bat. Like, I could watch episode 1 of Comic Girls. If they're naked at any point, I'm dropping the show. Like, that's, like, clearly what's going to happen. But, like, if it doesn't happen, it's not in the PVs, then I'll give it a shot. Studio Nexus has actually a pretty good track record with me, surprisingly. They did Chivalry of a Failed Knight, which was actually a really nice take on, like, a harem show. It was really fun and really well done.
It made me
they
think
also
of
did
Tenchi Muyo, except he actually makes a choice.
Exactly. They did Wakaba Girl, which was a short anime about, like, cute girls that was actually really fun, really well written, like a nice, cute, like, good anime, like wholesome anime. There's a really incredible sound director working on this show, Jana Katagawa, who I've come to, like, really respect after his work on Scum's Wish, among other things. And also the same composer as Golden Kamuy, Kenichiro Shueihiro from Girls Last Tour, is doing this soundtrack as well. So, like, despite the appearance of this anime, it has a really good team behind it. And that could get all shot to shit by the fan service, if there is a lot of fan service. But I'm willing to give it a shot.
Save this recording, and then when this turns out to be some bullshit, we're gonna, like, play it back to you, Bcom, and just, like, help you remember.
Gonna create a special podcast.
The recording is gonna say, like,
Bcom
this could be
Tales.
bullshit. So, like, I'm very fully, like, accepting, like, this might be terrible, but I'm giving it, like, 1 or 2 episodes.
All right.
So let's see here.
Usually you're a lot fiercer on
So
fan service.
Bcom,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. Never mind. I'll wait. Leo, what do you think of this?
I'm giving it a 2. It looks cute, but I don't like how young the girls look. And considering how much fan service was in that trailer, I'm surprised Bcom gave it a 3.
I'm telling you, it's his weird dichotomy. Like,
I'm looking for the fan service in the trailer right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
He also really likes the cutesiness.
I think you're on to something, Kat.
he
You
has
have to write
a
up
weird
paper on this.
dichotomy.
I seriously want to know what fan service you're talking about. If you want to go watch the PV while we continue to talk about it, because, like, I didn't see any real fan service in the trailer.
She was in her bra and panties.
What? I'm looking for it. I don't see it. I think you're thinking of a different show.
I think he, like, blocks out.
They're
the
in their
memories
bathing
that
suits
he
at one
doesn't-
point, like they do
he
a beach
doesn't wanna
episode.
see. Like,
So
he blocks out the parts that he doesn't want to acknowledge, and he just, like, remembers.
There could be multiple PVs. So what I am going to say is I rated this a 1, and I'm going to say, God damn it, Bcom, stop with the young girls. But
When have I ever started with young girls?
all the action
my
heroine and
God.
cheer fruits. Let's go. Let's
Leo
go. Let's
was
fight.
Action Hero and True Fruits a decent show?
No,
Boring as
making
fuck.
Leo, how is
come
Buso
in for
Shoujo
you.
Machiavellianism, Leo?
Dude, that
was
that
terrible.
show was
I don't think you can talk, Leo.
that show knew it was trash and it wore it on its sleeve. So I was cool with it, man.
All right, let me ask Kat and Leo, how is Mitsuboshi Colors?
It's
Fantastic.
It's okay.
But they don't.
It's decent.
But I've been praising it for not sexualizing the girls at all.
True,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Also, Leo, you were right. There's one point in the PV where there's a girl who has her, like, hoodie unzipped and her bra is showing. So that,
Okay,
that's a terrible sign.
I'm rewatching it right now. I was
Yeah.
going to find that scene for you.
Yeah,
So-
no, I found
okay.
it. I found it. Don't worry.
So, but like this looks like new game with comic girls, right?
Yes.
And in all seriousness, this will be an awful attempt at Bakuman season 2. That is really what it will be. And also, I'm gonna shoot down your hopes right now, Bcom, because the demographic of this stupid freaking manga is seinen.
Oh,
So if it
right.
is seinen with lollies,
Yeah, no, I didn't. There's so Mal did not even list that, but
that's why you
a
always check
terrible
the
sign.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, that is not a good sign.
You
All
are
right.
gonna eat so much
fuck me.
crow.
It's right at the
We're saving
47
that
second mark if
recording.
you guys want to
Bcom.
see it.
It's gonna come back to bite you at some point.
All right, let's move on from that trash fire, obviously. Show number
Game on
29.
back quick.
Lost
Don't tell me I
Storage
don't do my
completed
research.
Recross from JC's staff. Kat, what do you think of this?
Okay, this show will be utter garbage bullshit. Like, look at the prequels and look at their mouse scores. It's gonna be bad. It's like
They
some
looked
sort
at
of
the prequels
fucking,
mouse scores.
It's
Some
like
of
some
them had
sort
sevens.
of dumb card game with cute lolly girls. I don't fucking know. Like,
Yeah,
I
I have
wanna
no
say this
interest.
doesn't
in
help
this. Yeah.
I have no comment because I could not find a synopsis for it. I could not find a studio for it. I couldn't find a producer, a licensor, nothing.
it'll be bullshit. It's gonna be
So I actually
bad.
have to
There's like a
leverage my
million
knowledge
prequels
to
to
you
this.
guys.
What did you say, Brains?
Do I need to leverage my knowledge of Wixos to you guys?
No,
Would
do
that
not
help?
tell us anything about Rick Ross. I don't want to know. It's a
it's-
card game. There's cute girls. That's all you need to know. The previous season had a 6.79. That wasn't very good. I don't know. If you're interested in, if you liked We Cross, then you might like this again. Basically.
Okay.
I think I heard from somebody that this season is trying to get the whole series back on track. Basically. So yeah.
So,
We'll see.
I'll wait till my turn.
No, it's
Oh,
your
it's
turn.
your, no, it is your turn.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's from the original TV series Selector Infected Wixos, which this show, at least the first season, is and the manga are actually particularly famous for being a deconstruction. It is a Madoka Magica, a Neon Genesis Evangelion, where they take the card game genre and do a deconstruction on it. It's actually got some really dark moments in it. It's very psychological. It is very, very much a dark fantasy. But the show got kind of sidelined. So I have it as a 1 just because of that. Like I'm not into it anymore. But if I hear good things, I might not hear anything about it. So I might just go check it out, because especially if they're trying to get it back on track, because Selector Infected Wixos is actually kind of cool, because it's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Like alluded to, but didn't actually do. Basically, when you lose the card games in this game, there are real negative effects. There are curses that follow you as a result, and they can get pretty bad, because you basically get to make a wish, just like Madoka Magica at the beginning. But if you lose 3 times, that wish gets turned into like a kind of a nightmare.
Cool.
So Wixos is actually kind of cool. I just don't think a lot of people understood what it was doing. So they thought it was just trying to be like edgy, but it's really one of the few deconstructions of a genre out there. In the same way, Kill la Kill is like a deconstruction of both the magical girl genre and ecchi genre. Neon Genesis is super robot deconstruction and real robot deconstruction as well. So it could be very interesting. I just put it as a 1 because the last couple have not been good, and like they've kind of led towards some terrible adaptation. But if they're going back to what they were, it could be actually pretty fun. If you were a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll definitely appreciate it.
So, like, I'm glad we have like Grandpa Brains here to educate us. But we're gonna move on to That was actually
Number
good because
30.
I did not know that. We're gonna move
I
on.
didn't know all that either. So show number 30, Tachibanankan Triangle, from creators in Pack and Studio Lings, who I've never heard of, but God, I have heard of creators in Pack. Oh my God.
So it's cute lesbian girls do ecchi things. Is what it is.
It's an ecchi shoujo ai. And look, I'm a man. I can only say no to so many things. However, this show is being directed by Hisayoshi Hirasawa, who directed a little anime you may have seen called Netsuzo Trap.
Ooh, NTR.
So pack it up. Fuck this. I am out immediately. No thank you.
So if you liked NTR and you wanted more, here you go. If
Also, you should
didn't,
go to jail, probably.
then
Also,
You're clearly a cancer on society if you liked NTR and wanted more.
Oh, come on. They had great fan service and very, very well drawn character models. So
some people like lesbian fan service.
Yeah, I like.
No. That's
get
not the
enough
problem with
lesbian
NTR.
Listen, nobody
problem with
thinks it's
NTR is
actually a
everything
great
else.
show. All right, listen.
No, it is not.
People when they say like that show is great, just like when I say High School DxD is great. Listen, it's because of plot, not plot. It's
No, but High School DxD actually does things well. It like has good characters. NTR does nothing well.
Oh, don't even act like that's
like,
why
do you
you
keep
watch
watching
High
Citrus?
School DxD.
I
Don't
keep
even
watching Citrus 'cause it's
bullshit
fucking
that with me.
hilarious.
We all know why we watch things like High School DxD. It's for fan service and ecchi scenes. If you like that, you will like this. If you don't,
Yeah, which is why I
you
put it at
won't.
number 3. It's my kind of trash
Exactly.
watch.
Leo knows what he likes. Leo's gonna watch it.
I
don't
put
like
it as a 1,
I'm not
and
gonna
I
watch
wrote asterisks to show in action and smacks head into wall. 'Cause it's gonna be terrible. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna check the FAP service on it.
See,
Yeah.
Bcom's just gotta be a little more honest. There we go. Okay.
What's hilarious is we rank the next 3 shows all the same.
Okay, so yeah, the next one is called Butlers something something. Okay, this is supposed to be like butlers who are hot, like pretty boy butlers fighting each other. But like once again, it's geared towards women, and I wanted this to be good because I love me some hot butlers with their hot like white gloves, right? Like this is not animated well. If it was prettier or better animated, I would probably watch it. But like, I mean, I don't know what to do with this. This is some BS.
Yeah, it's from Studio Silverlink. It's Bishi Butlers. Go back to Black Butler where you belong. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yep, I give it a 1, and I shouldn't have to comment on why I will not be watching this.
I gave
Fails to capture the demographic that it was trying to.
I give it a
Put it
1
that way.
because, and I also said Bcom. It wishes it was as cool as Black Butler because
Yes.
there will
It does
simply
wish that.
never be someone in there doing acrobats in the air while they set a table while using forks to disarm evildoers and finishing it all by making sure his suit is crisp and clean and tightening up a white glove to say, I am simply one hell of a
Of
butler.
a butler.
Show number 32, Nil Admirari no Tenbin Teito Genwaku
was that hot
Kitan, which
take?
translates to The Scales of Nil Admirari, The Mysterious Story of Teito from Zero G.
This is a trauma drama about a girl in like a weird princess cage type of thing where she can't do shit. And like her brother commits suicide at some point. I don't know. Like it's probably not good. This just looks weird and dumb.
Yeah, this was like from the PV, it just looked like aggressively misogynistic. Like this girl is in the bird cage. They looked at Sword Art Online. They're like, how can we improve this? Let's
like,
put
this
Asuna
is
in the
what we
bird
needed.
cage from episode 1. Not even episode 1, just the preview of the show. Let's put her in the bird cage. And then pretty boys will be around the bird cage and they all have like a bird that they're related to. I don't know. This looks fucking terrible.
It's terrible.
Yep, I gave it a 1. I don't even want to bother even trying it out. Just no. Well, I'll forget it even exists.
Brains.
I gave it a 1, and my only comment is this. Go back to the CW, you piece of shit! Go hang out with Vampire Diaries in the corner where you belong.
Well said. Well said. At show 33, we have the second soccer show of the season, Inazuma 11 Aries no Tenbin from Studio OLM.
Okay, so this, from what I understand, I have a good friend who is really into Inazuma 11. This is one of those shows where if you like the original, you'll like this. Inazuma 11 is like if a sports anime was crossed with Dragon Ball Z. Like there's this YouTube video, I think it's like 10 minutes long. It's either called Greatest Moments of Inazuma 11 or Greatest like Moves, something like that. And it's ridiculous. Like, okay, you know how in Dragon Ball Z they'll be like, ah, and it'll be like a giant like magical thing and it's like a huge attack. It's like that, except you're supposed to believe that these are like sports moves that are happening in the real world. It's ridiculous. You need to look this up and watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Mario Strikers, the video game, if it was taken to like even crazier level or something. Yeah. It's like super powered soccer.
Pretty much.
But yeah, if I was going to choose to watch a soccer show this season, I would probably start with Captain Tsubasa. So for that reason alone, I'm pretty much out on this. Unless like they wind up having really great characterization like in Kuroko no Basuke or something, but I doubt that. So I don't know.
Yeah, just like the other soccer show, this one gets a 1 also. And even though they have stands or something, or like DBZ fighting.
Yeah, it's like a stand. It's kind of...
So, I just realized Dragon Ball Z, a lot of those power-up scenes and transformation scenes were really cool because of that electric guitar in the background. Like when Goku went to Super Saiyan 3, like that is like a dope scene because he's like... There's Super Saiyan 1, Ascended Saiyan, but there's a level beyond, and like his voice echoes.
Well, those are also the scenes where they tend to do a lot better with their animation, even in Deep Dragon Ball Super, which I am caught up with somehow.
Yeah, and so there's some really cool things in Dragon Ball Z. I really like rewatching, especially that Super Saiyan 3 scene. Like that scene's just so great. Because like it's just Goku just being like, "Here's my dick." Oh yeah, I was supposed to be talking about this show. That's how little I care about it.
No, you said everything you needed to say. Let's move on.
That's all I care.
Oh boy, here comes Bcom's like love of the season.
Show number 34.
This is Bcom's nuclear
the shit out of you.
option.
I didn't know we could rate it like that, Bcom. Had I known that,
Okay.
there's a show earlier I would have rated like that.
Okay, Bcom
Horse
is
Girls
threatening.
Pretty derby.
Bcom is threatening to put this on our season watch list for next time. If he does, I am holding Mahou Shoujo Ore like hostage, and I'm threatening to also put it on our watch list if he does this.
You could put
This
the
is our
next
nuclear
show
showdown.
on your list. I
We are
wouldn't care.
staring at each
You
other
need to use-
across the divide. We are
Cat.
holding our shows.
Cat, you
In
have to
our
use your
hands.
lock on comic girls. That's what you have to do. So you subject him to that every week.
It could be worse. Life could be worse. From
Go
renowned
ahead,
studio PA Works, they're back, baby, and they're adapting a Cygames mobile game adaptation. Leo knows how well those go. Rage of Bahamut, anybody? Also, from the director of Oregairu Season 2, who is directing Hinamatsuri at the same time as this. That's kind of weird. He's probably really busy right now. Or he has been for the past couple months, I guess. Out of a scale of 1 to 4, I rate this a 5 in terms of my anticipation.
Oh, yeah. Had I known that, I'd have rated Legend of the Galactic Heroes that you fuck.
Hey, nobody stopped you. Only you stopped you.
I followed the rules, you twat.
Yeah.
Horse girls transcend rules.
Makes
brains,
you a
don't
twat.
understand?
Oh my god.
I'm just saying it.
Seriously, go watch the PV for this show. If you
I
haven't seen it.
did.
It's been watched like a
We
million
all
times on
did.
YouTube. But you personally, listener, you should go watch this PV.
No,
it is
don't.
like
Don't do
the
that to
greatest
yourself.
thing that has ever happened.
I will say it's got gorgeous animation, but that's it. Like everything else about the show looks terrible.
I'm so excited. Oh man.
So,
Bcom
anyways,
just
I'm
wants to
actually going to have
pull
to
some horse
side with
tail.
Bcom on this one.
Yeah, Leo knows
I'm going to give
what's
it a
up.
3. I just have to check it out. The moment I saw it, I felt like it was going to be popular. But the last time
Just
we
watch
picked
the FAP
a
service.
Centaur show, it bit us in the ass. So we'll see.
Just wait for the season to end and watch the FAP service compilation. Like, so two things. One, Bcom, keep Rage of Bahamut out of your mouth when you're talking about this show.
It's a Side Games adaptation.
I don't give a shit. Keep Rage of Bahamut out of your mouth when you're talking about this show. Second, God damn it, help me. I'm drowning in Bcom's love of cute things.
Embrace
God
them
damn
away
it,
in your
Leo.
heart, brain.
Stop
Now you know my
contributing
pain.
to his addiction.
Brains
Oh,
understands. Brains understands our pain.
I just imagine, it probably already exists. If it doesn't exist, it will soon. At the top level of every Japanese arcade in Japan, there's like this smoky floor with the Japanese guys playing like the video game horse racing and just gambling away all of their savings. It's going to be like the horse racing games, but with actual girls.
We've all been dealing with Bcom's problem for a while now. Brains
Listen, okay.
understands now. It's very
Listen.
sad.
I got
it's
one more
unfortunate.
fucking thing to say. All right.
Uh-huh.
Bcom, if you lock this show, I swear to God, I will write articles. I will watch every goddamn episode, and I will write
Don't
articles.
give him reason to.
Hold on. And I will write articles talking about how terrible it is. I will attach all the fan service pictures I can to it of that show and then call you out because you are like, little girls with their horse monsters. I'm good. Like,
Make sure to mention Comic Girls when you do it too.
I'm definitely going to mention
Make sure
Comic Girls.
you mention the next show is what I have to say. Show number 35. Alice or Alice, Siscon, Nissan, Tofutago no Imoto from EMT Square.
They just put Siscon in the name. They didn't even have the decency to pretend that it isn't what it is.
No, they're like, listen, it's popular. I mean, Aramanga Sensei did well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, this is a good candidate for the drinking show that we sometimes
agree.
see. Other than that, I'm not touching this with like a 10-foot pole. Also, okay, you say that both twins are not Alice. It looks like that just from the mouth. Like, and I thought for a second, I was like, did she name both of these twins the same fucking name? Like, was she just like hyped up on painkillers when she gave birth and was like, oh no, they're both fucking Alice because I don't want to do another name.
Yeah, but what we found out, nobody in the show's even named Alice. What's that even about?
So I contend that Japanese people have a weird boner for Alice as a Disney character. They are obsessed with her. And anytime that like Alice is mentioned on the streets of Tokyo, like half the people present get wet or hard at the mention of Alice.
Yeah, not just that. It's the even just like the Alice in Wonderland type world is what they freaking love.
Yep. It's weird.
Yeah, that keeps popping up.
But what if I told you that these little cute girls had an older brother and his name was Older Brother? And also he's being voiced by Yoshitsugu Matsuoka, who is Kirito. So Kirito is going to have a harem of like little sisters and like cat girls, and it's going to be terrible. I rated this a 0, and then I rated it a drink your way through because that is the only way I could possibly watch this. So,
yeah, I put it as a 1, and I was honestly okay with the trailer up until the point, and I quote, and their brother, who is slightly attracted to them. And I was just like, no, done. I don't give a shit what's in the rest of this. But yeah, for a drink your way through commentary episodes, I'd be down for that. I mean, that little segment was kind of popular, really.
It was. Yeah, and this is probably the best candidate for that if we were going to do another one of those.
I think there's another one also down here that I read, and I was like, oh man, this is another candidate we can use.
Okay.
But Brains, do you need me to hand you the flamethrower, or are you good?
Like, listen. Yes, I need a flamethrower. I will be making many homemade flamethrowers because kill it now, kill it with fire. God damn.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All
Pretend.
right,
You're right, Kat. They don't have the decency to pretend. Like, they're just like, fuck it. You know what?
It's a Siscon show. Y'all know what it is. Like,
come buy our figurines. God damn it.
Show number
Body
36, Hozuki no Reitetsu, the second season, part 2 from Studio Dean. Kat, you've come really far with this show.
Yeah, so I've already watched up to this point. I'll keep watching it. It's okay. Like, it's one of those shows where if you understand a lot about like Japanese culture, you can like swim your way through. You'll be confused sometimes, but most of it you'll get. If you know nothing about Japanese culture, you'll be like, what's even going on? I don't understand. So it's a little bit of like lost in translation sometimes, but it's like a very Japanese show. It's one of those
for sure.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's steeped in lore, folklore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this at a 1 because I watched like the first episode of season 1 and it was just not my humor. But I probably should just give it a couple more episodes because I know a lot of people who really like this show. But for now, for me, it's not a watch because I
like
just
it.
was not in on it.
I just know it's like only a certain subset of people will like it.
Yeah, like Bcom, if you're having trouble with the humor, I recommend just reading up on some of the folklore of Momotaro and stuff like that. And then
I mean, I knew Momotaro, and that's what the first episode was about. And I've like heard the story of Momotaro. I just didn't find their take on Momotaro to be like that funny. I don't know. But yeah,
it is. If you, well, maybe I don't know what you didn't find funny, so I guess I shouldn't say that because like there could be parts of it. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 1, but I have seen season 1 and I really liked it. And I did actually learn some of the Japanese folklore I didn't know yet from it, but I never started season 2. So I'm not going to pick this one up.
Okay. Also, I don't know why so many shows were splitting like season 2 between like, and they like skipped a season. I don't know what that was about. That was weird, but go ahead, Brains. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I most certainly am definitely gonna give this a
keep watching it
like a number. You got 4, yeah, because the cultural immersion in the show is great.
Oh yeah, a fellow Hozuki lover. Awesome.
All right, show number 37, Hisone to Maso-tan from Studio Bones. This is an original show from Bones, by the way. This is a show about like 4 girls who are in like the self-defense force, like the air self-defense force. So they're fighter pilots.
It just looked like it was for children, and it may be one of those that like it's tricking us, like you know how Made in Abyss like looks like it was made for children,
right?
But it's not. But
or
like
Girls Last Tour,
I don't know. Like I don't like that style. So like unless it's given me something like more adult, I'm not gonna be watching it. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this show has a chance to be like the breakout hit of the season. I love the premise that it's like a cute girls fighter squad, but like one of them gets to fly this like dragon.
He's like a dragon mecha.
Yeah, that girl is being voiced by Misaki Kuno, who has like literally the cutest voice ever. She has the voice of Sararara from Log Horizon. Sarah. I think I did an extra raw there. I was Araragi for a second. And Momo from Three Gatsu no Lion, she also voiced. Also, Tomoyo Kurosawa, who is like my favorite voice actress because she voiced Kumiko in Hibike Euphonium. She's voicing this like feisty brunette girl named Now in this show. And every scene in the PV that she's in, she's already stealing it. So I'm interested. Mari Okada is writing it, who's very talented, though some of her shows have been hit or miss with me. And the character designs and the art style are great. Like Bones, like doing fighter jets is hype. I think it's going to look great. So I think like 4 or 5 episodes in, people are going to be hailing this as one of the anime of the season. That's my prediction.
Woo-wee. Well, I put it as a 3 because it being a Bones original is going to be definitely enough for me to check it out. I will give it a 3 episode watch, but we'll see from there. Go ahead, Brains, get off your chest.
Lolly SDF. That's what you want. Lolly Moe SDF. Did we learn nothing from Girl Zoon Panzer? It sounds great, guys. I wonder who's gonna love this show so very much. because it has this thing in it. I can't remember what it is. Fuck this show.
Is it the great animation and characters? Is that what it has? I'm not sure. Okay.
No. What it has is like these small characters that are like kind of like Moe, but probably hypersexualized a little bit. So, that's right.
I didn't see anything to say that they were hypersexualized in the PV. I didn't see anything like that, but we will have to wait and see.
I have little faith in Bones.
Show number 38 is Akun and his girlfriend, Akun to Kanojo from Yumeta Company. So, Kat.
Okay. This is like a show about a boy who treats his girl like shit and yet is stalking her also.
Yeah.
And
She just thinks it's cute.
And of course, in true Japanese style, they're like, oh, it's so cute. Like, look, he's stalking her and being a shithead. Aw. Like, no, I'm not watching this bullshit.
Yeah, this is a 5-minute short, which is the only reason I'll probably give it a watch because it's a short. So, there's very little investment. So I have this at a 2. It's a comedy romance. Like Kat said, the main character is like a tsundere stalker boy. And my main issue with this is that the female character designs look a lot younger than the male character designs, which is a little awkward to me if they do any other romantic stuff. But yeah, I don't have much investment in this, but I'll give it a little watch.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2. I don't really like the idea that he's verbally abusive towards her.
Yeah.
But it's a 5-minute short. I'll watch an episode. I'll see how the comedy plays off. I mean, I'm either not going to like it or I am going to like it. So I guess I'll just find out.
Brains, what do you think?
I think it's going to be terrible. I think.
Probably.
Brains and I are
It's going to be a show you love, though.
On a lot of this.
For some reason.
Maybe.
I feel like... No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, if you love this show, I'm going to have to watch it and then I'm going to fight you. I feel like I'm going to have to fight you if you love this show. But like, this is... Oh, gosh. I don't think this is going to be
funny. The next 4 shows on this list are all like really famous anime franchises, but they're way down here. Like starting at number 39, we got Major second.
All right,
so from NHK Enterprises.
Yeah, I loved Major. Like, it's one of the best sports anime ever made. Like, this is supposed to be a sequel, but it really, from like the look of it, if you compare like the Mal thumbnail from Major season 1, the original, and this like Major the second season 1, and I'm assuming it will be several seasons because the manga is long. It looks almost identical. It seems like almost a reboot more than a sequel. I do hope they make it kind of like Boruto, where it's its own thing, and then I will be happy. But it also may just be a remake in disguise. I'm gonna watch it, but we'll see. So.
Yeah, I have this at a 4 too. Even though I haven't seen any season of Major yet, I feel like this is a reboot, so I could basically start right here. I won't maybe get as much out of it because of that, but I'm still excited to see it. It's from director Ayumu Watanabe, who directed Space Brothers, which is great. And yeah, luckily Kat has caught up on all of this, so if we decide to watch it, she can tell me about the context that I'm missing. So yeah.
Yep. I know absolutely nothing about Major. It's also a sports anime, so I'm giving it a 1. Take it, Brains.
I like this show. I liked Major a lot, so I'm giving this a 3. Because the original Major is great. It just, if I can find time for it, is what it really is. But I'm excited because it's second. I mean, it's the continuation of Major, so like. Major second. Like I just hope they don't repeat everything, but from what I understand, the manga is pretty good. So.
All right, so the next big franchise that's way down on the membership list on Mal is Cutie Honey Universe from Production Read.
I mean, I've never seen anything Cutie Honey. It does look kind of like, ooh, pretty girls, but at the same time, like the writer of this is the same person who wrote like Devilman. And that's pretty dark, so I'm kind of hoping it's like cute, but with dark elements. I don't know. I've never seen anything Cutie Honey. We'll see.
I also have this at a 3 because I've never seen any Cutie Honey, so I don't know what to expect. The director, though, is interesting. Akitoshi Yokoyama, who has only directed one other show, Photokano, which was an okay show. But he's worked on a lot of really incredible anime. He's worked on the Tatami Galaxy, Morbido, Guardian of the Spirits, Summer Wars, Kaiba, Gurren Lagann. So all sorts of great stuff. And it's also like a really weird setup where it's like there's a bunch of different honeys in the show, and they're all being voiced by like top tier voice actresses like Maya Sakamoto, Maya Uchida, Kana Hanazawa, and Tomoya Kurosawa. So I expect the voice acting to be great. I expect the direction to be pretty good. I don't know if I'll like it beyond that, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yep, I have not seen any Cutie Honey also. But just from the PV, it looks like a Cutie Honey universe of fan service to me. So
yeah.
Yep.
Brains, you love this one.
I'm just tired of this crap. Just tired of it. Fuck it. God damn it, Bcom.
There's been a lot of readaptations.
Watch
of
the
Cutie
PV,
Honey.
you fuck.
I did watch the PV. It looked fine.
It looked like
course
Dancer.
you thought it looked
It looked like
fine.
Gunsmith Cats. You like
God
Gunsmith
damn.
Cats.
I don't trust you. I don't believe that it actually looked like Gunsmith Cats. You have like an altered view of what things appear.
Gunsmith Cats has some moments of fan service. All right.
Moments.
Like, listen.
Okay.
Like sometimes entire scenes and like fan service like is what it is, but like Rally and Minnie May are amazing characters. And
True.
Did you see the animation of that Shelby GT 500?
I did.
Get the
It
fuck
was
out of
sexy.
my face.
Look, I thought Dimension W's PV was sexy too because of that car. That didn't go so well, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that car wasn't as sexy as that Shelby GT 500.
it wasn't.
How well?
No car is as sexy as that Shelby GT Cobra 500.
And how about we also talk about just how well those guns are drawn? But
They
yeah,
are
this is a one.
drawn really well, and like the reload animations. Anyway, we should move on. Way down here at number 41 is Lupin III Part 5 from Telecom Animation Film.
Why the fuck is this all the way down here? I don't understand. Because like Lupin III Part 4 had like a high popularity in the community for a while. Like, why is no one fucking excited for this? Like,
I think it's because of all the shows coming out. I really do.
I'm
It's
disappointed.
that, and that there's so much Lupin that people probably feel like they can't just jump in when you see like a Part 5 on a title.
You can.
Yeah, I think you can, and like, yeah, that was the only thing holding me back. So like, I'm so far behind on Lupin stuff, but
Well, even if
I
you
watched
only just
some of Part
watch
4, and it was
Part
incredible.
4, yeah, I mean, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I would expect. I have this at a 3. I expect to watch at least some of this and probably enjoy it. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Lupin. Get to 1.
Oh, Leo. I'm trying really hard not to like hit you in the face. That's a struggle.
I'm glad you're so far away.
I mean, you're in the same state as me. If it wasn't snowing really hard, you might have been in trouble. But all right. What about you, Brains?
Fucking Leo. It's a 4. Like, I love Lupin, and it's Lupin. So get a clue.
All right. And another It's Lupin situation. Number 42, it's Fist of the North Star, Soten no Ken Regenesis from Polygon Pictures, who are well known for their work with CG anime.
I mean, I've never seen Fist of the North Star. This does not look good. I have a feeling it's just for people. Like, this is almost them throwing like a rotten bone at original fans of Fist of the North Star and being like, here, have these scraps.
Listen, Fist
Like,
of the
we
North
did
Star.
something for you.
Fist of the North Star has rarely ever been well animated. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you seen the original series? Like, it's rough.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
But the absurdity is what's great.
I'm not typically a huge fan of the manly men punching things genre of anime. Like, it's just not my thing typically.
Because you
But
die
even
in the
looking
80s.
past that, the CGI, all 80s anime. The CGI here does not look great. And Polygon has done decent stuff like Knights of Sidonia and stuff in the past, but this does not look very good, at least in the PV. Hopefully it gets better by the time the show is airing, but Yeah, this is like a prequel to Fist of the North Star, but comes chronologically after Fist of the Blue Sky, apparently, if you know what that means, because I have no idea. So,
that's a questionable show.
Leo,
Yeah, so I got on here and I saw that Brains liked it, and I immediately started feeling bad for him because it was looking like a repeat of what happened to Berserk, and I just don't know if he can make it through a second trauma like this.
Brains made it through Berserk.
Yeah, but a second trauma.
It was touch and go with Berserk, though.
This, like I said, like it's been poorly animated before, and I watched the whole fucking show, which is actually pretty long. It's like 50 some odd episodes. All right, and what I love about it is exactly what Bcom hates about it, which is the manly men punching things. Like, there's just something
JoJo for.
Yeah, yeah, right. But they're not adapting JoJo's fast enough at all. So like, that's the thing, right? JoJo's is based off of Fist of the North Star, right? It like Fist of the North Star started the battle manga genre. So or at least was the first one to actually be a hit, and Fist of the Blue Sky was kind of sketchy, but at the end of the day, I'll be able to live through this pretty easily. And I like, there's something about it, like when what was the main character's name in Fist of the North Star? Ken. Right? Mm-hmm. When Ken would do and then like move by them, like just with his two fingers pointed together, poking into them, and their heads would explode. There's just something about that's awesome. And it's the same reason I love JoJo's. It's the same reason I loved Writing Bean when he got shot in the head and had that, I guess, Kevlar headband, and then proceeded to pick up a K car and throw it at somebody. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah, it's just fun.
So I'm going to give it a 3 because it could be terrible and I might drop it, but I'll probably watch it.
All right, show number 43. This is actually in the kids category on Mal, but I thought I'd add it in here because it's a well-known quantity.
I knew when I saw this, I was like, Bcom, put this fucking shit in here.
I did, because it's based on a really popular video game. It's Professor Layton. So Layton Mystery Tanteisha Katri no Nazotoki File from Leiden Films.
Okay. All right, Bcom. That's fine.
What do you think about this, Kat?
No thanks, fam. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I know you like this because you like things like Mitsubishi Colors, and you're hoping this is like that, except like one girl who solves crimes.
And it will be like that.
I can't imagine it's gonna be as good even as that, which I just kind of like because it's only one girl. Like, so there's not the back and forth. Like, I'm sure Bcom will love it. He will eat this slop up with like a spoon and he'll have a grin on the entire time he does it. But like the rest of us,
he will.
All I know is Kanahana is voicing the main character, Katrio Layton. And yeah, I don't know. I guarantee this will be better than the Ace Attorney anime. Like, because it couldn't be worse.
That's
could it?
Not saying a goddamn thing for the show. Ace Attorney was horrible.
It was terrible. This is getting 50 episodes though, so somebody thinks this is going to be freaking good.
Because Layton is very popular as a video game, and the video games are pretty good. And I think they've done Layton anime in the past. I just have never really followed Layton. Like, I'm aware of what it does and what it is and like how popular it is, and it's supposed to be a really well done game. Because I believe somebody famous does artwork on it. I want to say it's Hayao Miyazaki, but I might be wrong.
I don't know.
But like, so Layton is popular. That's why, because they are gonna sell shit tons of games with that. Yeah, and it looks like there have been anime, but it crosses over with Ace Attorney a lot, or not a lot, but a couple times.
It does, yeah, occasionally.
So, I mean, I'm sure it'll be popular, but like we're just kind of stating, and it's not our demographic, so to say. So
yeah.
And that's why I give it a 1.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's trying to see like who is famous for doing stuff on this.
Well, I don't know. You can look that up later as we're going through stuff. But you also gave this a 1 brains.
Yeah, I'm just not interested. Like it's not my demographic. It's just
the only other thing I thought it had going for it is has the director of Haikyuu working on it. So he's pretty damn good. But I have this as a 2 also because this is probably way too kiddie for me. But there's always the chance that shows are.
There's also just so you know.
Here, though.
FYI, just so you know, there's another Leighton anime series consisting of 26 episodes in development already. So,
interesting. Huh.
But this is actually based on 2 of the video games. So yeah, it looks like this is the first TV series for it. So, but they've had movies, which was Eternal Diva, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of. So. I'll look into it.
Well, we'll move on to the next show, though. Show 44, Gegege no Kitaro from Toei Animation. This has been like remade multiple times ever since like 1968. So this is like...
You're underestimating multiple times.
Yeah, it's been made a lot.
It's a fucking lot. Like...
Because when I typed this into my anime list, I had to cipher through a lot of these shows.
Yeah, this is like
to find
a
the 2018 version.
Old. Maybe this will be popular in Japan. Maybe this is like a series that everyone knows about in Japan and we just fucking don't know about. But like, no
Very
one
likely.
here is gonna watch this. Like in the States.
Probably not. And it's getting like again 50 episodes. So like this is a big thing. I think the only thing going for it for me is that Miyuki Sabashiro is one of my favorite voice actresses, is voicing Kitaro, but beyond that, like the visuals and character designs are like intriguing, but I don't see myself getting caught up in this one. It's very unlikely anyway.
It's kind of like about a ghost boy who does things. I don't know. Like that's all I got from reading some of the synopsis.
And it's like half cute, half like horror looking. Mm-hmm. It's got weird visuals. I don't know.
Yeah, it has a look to it. We'll see. I don't know. Brains, do you have any thoughts on Gegege no Kitaro?
I'm gonna rate it a 2. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be terrible. It's not my jam, but like I might check it out because of the kind of history behind it in Japan. So,
show number 45, we've got Uchu Senkan Tiramisu from Studio Gonzo. This is Space Battleship Tiramisu.
This is like supposed to be a sci-fi mecha comedy.
It's
about a spaceship.
It's a shot at it's a parody of Space Battleship Yamato, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
But yeah, no, it's the trailer. It's a slideshow, so like I'm not expecting much at all.
Ugh.
All I'm gonna say is in Italian, I would have preferred Space Battleship Cannoli or Space Battleship Sfogliatelle, but Space Battleship Tiramisu, it's okay. It's okay.
I mean, I like tiramisu.
It's fine. Not much info to go off from the PV. It looks like a pretty funny show. It looks like a parody, like Brain said. I'll give it like an episode to check it out and see how it goes.
I would watch it if it was literally a giant piece of tiramisu flying through the sky, like
And
ominously.
It might be. You don't know yet.
But I don't think that's what we're gonna get.
It could be.
Oh, man.
Like from if the cover art's any, and it very could be.
I'm going to give it a 2, and I'm just going to wait to see what other people say about it. It may be halfway decent, and then I'll pick it up, but I won't be watching it till I hear good things.
And Brains?
Yeah, it can go fuck itself.
Moving on then.
Okay.
Show number 46, Amai Chopatsu Watashi wa Kanshu Senyo Pet from
All right.
Magic Bus.
So this girl has been a very bad girl.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah. She
What are you going to do to this girl, Kat?
This police guard's gonna discipline her. He's gonna make sure.
Well,
she's...
How is he going to do that?
I just want to say she's been imprisoned despite her innocence. So she hasn't been bad at all.
This is like the NTR of the season. This is like heterosexual NTR. Like it's just like rapey smut. That's all it is. With the police guard.
Just like what is
I have basically one thing to say about this, and that is no.
That tells you something when Bcom's analysis isn't one word.
No.
It's pretty bad.
I thought it might be another possible candidate for drink your way through.
Yeah, we could drink our way through
This
this.
would be very
point.
cringy to
Pretty
watch.
bad. If
I
you
don't
see the
know.
PV, it's like a lot of rapey smut shit already.
God.
I'm just hoping like I get the FAP service compilation at the end of the season. I'm
sure you
anything I
will.
wanted to from this show.
Brains, did you know that Studio Magic Bus worked on Legends of the Galactic Heroes?
God damn
How
it.
far they've
Far
fallen.
they have fallen.
These poor bastards. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like they're like, we need some cash. So time to make an
just
anime
imagining.
that sells figurines. Although
So, like, it's-
now that I right click on them and open them up, they did something in like freaking 2017 called Skirt no Naka wa Kadamono Deshita, which looks like
It was
some
another
Yuri bait.
borderline hentai. Yeah.
Well, Alice to Alice was already taken this season, so they just had to take this show.
Okay, I'm
they've
just
done
saying,
a lot
like,
of things that I've never heard of, so I'm pretty sure went terrible. Like it looks like they have to do things every so once in a while just to keep the doors open. Like
So I feel like Magic Bus is an old anime studio where like most
trying
of
to
the people
survive.
in it are like about to retire, right? Like they're older men and they're like, we just need to keep this studio going for like 10 more years.
I mean-
until we all go into retirement. And I'm just imagining all these like 60-plus-year-old men just like drawing this smut.
so I'm looking at them, and maybe I shouldn't shit on them too much because, like you said, they
Thinking on
did Legend of the
Yeah.
Galactic Heroes.
Thinking
They
back
did
on
do
better
some questionable
times.
thing, like Sexy Commando Gaiden, like that. I think I've seen clips from that. That's an interesting show from the 80s, or not 80s, 90s, but like they did do in like recently, like they did do Demon Lord Dante, which is a Go Nagai adaptation. They did Cobra the Animation. They did one of my favorite trash anime of all time, Mad Bull 34. But they've also been doing some hentai and
Basically.
They're not afraid to get down and dirty when they need to.
There's a hentai called Taimanen Yuke Kaze that they did in 2013. So times have been tough for this studio, but they did the Cobra stuff that I really like a lot of the Cobra stuff, and I like Cobra, and it just
They're
it's
scrappy.
sad.
They do what they gotta do.
They gotta do what they gotta do to survive. If they get like a good thing, then they they do their best. But if they have to animate Yuri bait, they animate Yuri bait. They're gonna sell some figures. That's all I know.
Oh my god, come on, next show.
Yeah, next show, number 47, Roku Hodo
Okay.
Yotsuiru Biori from Studio Zex.
I know this was at the bottom. I'm excited for this show. This is like 3 pretty boys like run a tea shop with like food porn and like pretty boy like yaoi baitish stuff, basically. Very elegant, very prettily animated. I'm excited for it. I know that most y'all won't watch it. That's fine. It's
Hey.
not for you.
I have
So-
this at a 3, and not for the pretty boys, but for the pretty tea. I'm a big fan. That tea is sexy. That green tea looking real good,
Oh
Kat,
yeah,
okay?
it's elegant. It's elegantly made. I'll put it that way.
The director of this show also directed Fune Moamu, who Studio Zex also put that out. And that was The Great Passage, was a very good show. This looks nicely drawn. The art director, Hiromasa Ogura, seems to have a very impressive resume. I'll definitely give this a shot.
I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna let my other 2 halves watch it first and let me know if I should watch
Are
it.
you 1.5 of a person?
Sure.
Okay.
1/3 of a podcast, so
Yes.
to say.
Yes.
And Brains, what did you think of that show?
I give it a 2. It's not going to be good. It's not. It's just not.
Fair enough.
I disagree with you on this one, Brains, but that's okay.
All right, next show, 48, Gundam Build Divers. No studio listed for this one. But obviously it's a Gundam Build, like
It
Gundam
has Gundam
like, it's
in
the
the
Gundam
title.
Build series.
Yeah, it has Gundam in the title, and okay, so I can't even find a trailer for this anime.
You don't need a trailer for
It
it.
doesn't even have a
It's-
synopsis. Yet, if you look online, they are already making model kits and selling them for this anime.
Yeah, because they're
Already.
going to do a bunch of customs.
I mean,
this is an anime for Gundam fans and Gunpla fans specifically.
I know Andrew from the Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast might be really pissed at me, but like the only reason people are going to watch this is because it says Gundam in it. That's the only reason.
So you couldn't find a PV because there is a 14-minute PV.
Really? Because I looked up like Gundam build drivers and I couldn't find it.
Gundam Build Divers prologue, because they do like prologues. They don't necessarily do PVs. Like if it's going to be a new mainstream Gundam show, they're going to do that. But like when they're setting up a show, they're going to do things like a prologue.
Okay.
And it's
so maybe I just don't have my in because I'm not a mech fan.
I mean, I just typed in Gundam
is.
Build Divers into Google.
There's a PV on Mal right now. I mean, it looks like a little boy who's like, look how cool these Gundam are. Oh my God it's so cool. And so like, yeah, that's who it's aimed at. Like basically Andrew. Like, hi, Andrew. I know you're listening. Leo, what do you think?
I don't know
so
anything
upset.
anymore about Gundam, so I won't be watching it.
Okay, listen.
Brains, what do you think about Gundam Build?
It's a 4, and I'll tell you why. Because there are tons of cameos and in-jokes based on the Gundam series. Like, it is great because, like, it's almost like what was that called? Gundam-san? Is that what it was? Which was like a comedy, right? And that is like kind of like a comedic version of the creation of the first Gundam. And Gundam Build Divers is great because they always have a best girl, and so like you say like he's holding the Gundam up high and he's like, look how cool I am, blah blah blah, right? Well, that's not all of it. Like all the Gundam build fighters have basically used these particles, like whatever fake version of Minovsky particles they have in this version, to basically be like, this is why they move, and then they actually move and fight like actual Gundams. So you actually get to see some really cool mobile suit battles, some really cool like custom designs for mobile suits, and it's fun. Like it's really fun. There's like a character in the original Build Fighters that I think it was the original Build Fighters that had the burning Gundam, and he used a special martial art to help him fight better with his Gundam. And that was part of like the funny trope of, oh, of course the guy who uses the G Gundam model has the special technique that allows him to fight better that has nothing to do with the Gundam, right? So like there's a lot of in-jokes and stuff about it, like, and you don't even need to understand those to enjoy it. A lot of people have actually found these shows as a form of entry, because then they're like, oh, I wonder what that's about. Oh, I wonder what that's about. And then they go watch other Gundam shows. So
well, that's cool.
It's going to be good.
It's a good way to onboard yourself for the whole Gundam series then. Yeah.
Because it's not so invasive that like you won't necessarily get it, and it's not so invasive that you have to get it to enjoy the show. So
all right, next one, number 49, Fumikiri Jikan from Studio Akachi Apilka, who sounds like, I don't know, some hacker from Eastern Europe that is ruining elections in the United States right now. But it literally translates, the show translates to something like Railroad Crossing Time, and it's a little show about girls who meet at a railroad crossing after school or before school or something and just talk, I think. It's a short.
Yeah, I don't have time for this 5-minute bullshit. That's fine.
And this is basically like why I will give it a shot again. It's short, so I'll give it a 2. I'll probably check it out once or twice and see if it's any good, if it's any funny.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 3 because I either feel like it's going to be a blast or it's just going to be boring as hell. I don't think there's any middle ground here. Mm-hmm. That's my hot take on it.
Yep.
Brains.
I'm going to give it a 1 because it's probably just going to be good for looking at girls with Zeto Ryokai.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't really look too closely at the character designs, but I believe you. Show number 50, Last Period or Owarinaki Rasen no Monogatari from JC Staff.
No, this is once again some BS.
Yeah.
Cutesy kitty trash.
Okay. Yeah, I have this at a 1 from director Yoshiaki Iwasaki of El Hazard 2, Love, Hina, and Zero no Tsukaima. It basically just looks like a Pokemon kind of wannabe, or like a fantasy kids like going and fighting like monsters show. It's not for me. I'm too old for this shit. Leo.
Yeah, I gave it a 1. It's just too kiddie. I mean, ugh.
And then Brains, you give it a 1?
Yeah, because I'm not dealing with it. Fuck it.
All right. Number 51, Binan Koko Chikyu Bouei-bu Happy Kiss from Studio Comet.
Okay, so this is pretty boy trash. Like, this has been so circulated in the Otome channels of a few groups I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Some girls are excited for it. Personally, I feel like these boys look slightly anorexic. Like, if you look at the thumbnails, like, you can see all their sternums. I don't really know if that's supposed to be attractive, but I do not find it so. Like, they're...
What, the clavicle?
Yeah, their clavicles,
I mean, the
their
clavicle's
chest,
hot,
like,
but
yeah,
like,
everything.
look at their sternum. Like, it's so... Like, they need to eat. Like, and then they're all drinking milk in this thumbnail. So, like, yeah, you drink that sweet, sweet milk. Get a little meat on them
God.
bones.
I gave this a 2. I said collarbones for days, clavicles for days, whatever. And who knew that Studio Comet was still around? They worked on School Rumble. I mean, I guess they're still around. If you liked the previous seasons of this, which were kind of funny magical boy parodies of magical girl shows, then you might enjoy more of this. I don't know.
I'm going to give it a 1 because of everything Kat just said about it.
Okay.
Same.
Brains.
Like, it's terrible.
All right. Number 52, Omae wa Mada Gunma wo Shirinai, which is something like if you go to Gunma, you won't come back or something like that. You won't survive. I don't know. From Asahi Production.
I don't know. It's supposed to be a school comedy. It's very low budget. I guess we'll see. There's always a chance that they'll be okay.
So this one had the perfect words for me, which was from the studio that brought you Panda Peace, which is like, if you ever wanted me to not like something, those are the words to say. So 1, like 0, not even, no chance. No chance I will watch this.
I gave it a 1 because I did the same thing as Bcom and looked at the studio's history, and it's just a deal breaker. I'm out.
I'm good.
Brains.
I'm good. I'm fucking good.
Oh, we're closing in on the end here, but there are a couple gems still left. Number
Sure.
53, Gurizeni from Studio Dean. This is like a anime about like a relief pitcher in this like ultra capitalist baseball league where he's like really cutthroat because he wants to be the highest paid player, and you are paid based on like how good you are and how well you deal with other hitters and stuff. So yeah, it's also being directed by the same guy who's doing Major Second. So he's directing both baseball anime at the same time this season. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it seems like there's ways to cheat the system, like to get a better pay rate, even if you aren't necessarily the best player. Mm-hmm. And like he's kind of almost playing the system. And it just seems pretty interesting, like a different take on a sports anime. So we'll see. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I have this set as 3 because, again, it's from that great director of Space Brothers. It's baseball. I love baseball. I used to be a pitcher, so hopefully this has something for me that'll be funny.
Yeah, it's also pretty well animated. Like, someone put some work in this.
Yeah.
So
I give it a 1. Say no to baseball, kids.
Say yes to baseball, kids. It is by far the best sport ever created. Anyway, Brains.
I'll give it a 2 because it might be fun, and I'll probably check it out if I have time, when I have time, something like that. But like Studio Dean, hit or miss for me, but yeah.
54 is Aikatsu Friends from Bandai Namco Pictures, which seems to be a spin-off of like a 100-episode anime called Aikatsu Stars, which has been going on for the past couple years. It's like a magical girl idol anime aimed at little girls. The animation looks pretty good, but otherwise, like, it's probably not for me.
I blacked out. The cat was attacking me. Which one did we do?
Aikatsu Friends, number 54.
Okay. That's a 1. I have never watched an idol anime willingly, and I'm not starting now. The only one I've even seen is that one we were already talking about earlier that Bcom made me watch. Cheer Fruits.
Oh, Action Hero and Cheer Fruits. Wow.
Yeah, that. And the only idol I honestly need in my life is Kizuna Ai, so I'm good.
Then you, sir, do not know the legend that is Neki Basara. So
Nope.
I'm gonna need you to get on listening to some Firebomber. All right. But yeah, I'm not interested in this. It can go
And
down
Kat,
in
you
a
had
fire
this at a
for all I
1 too,
care.
right?
Yeah, no, I'm not watching this. It's just
Okay.
it got
It's so
ones
funny.
around the table. So
Once we get to the end of these episodes, we're all like, dude, this just looks like shit. What else more do we need to tell you
know.
guys?
Well, that's the thing with this next one, number 55, Wakao Kami wa Shoga Kusei from Studio Madhouse. You may have heard of them before.
So-
This show, to me, looks incredible. Like, maybe the best animated show out of anything on this list from the PV that I saw. It looks gorgeous. It gives me like a Mamoru Hosoda movie vibe. It's about an orphaned girl who ends up living in her grandmother's ryokan inn and is trained to become an innkeeper. And it, like Kat was saying, like in this document, that like it looks a lot like Hanasaku Iroha, but with like a younger girl, basically. So it looks like it's kind of aimed at like a younger demographic,
And Bcom.
but it looks incredible.
it's aimed directly at Bcom.
They're like,
That's what this show is aimed
come
at.
and watch this.
Yeah,
I know. I
So,
like good anime, so yes, I will.
This is
Sure.
like a Hanasaku Iroha ripoff. The first PV was not great. I guess they released a second one, although the first one was like way months ago, so maybe that's why it wasn't great. It's a young girl. I'm not really into watching shows about young girls. I mean, maybe if it's good, we'll watch it. That's fine. I'll give it an episode. Leo?
Yeah, it might be too kidsy. We'll see.
Oh, Bcom, you already went?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 3. Again, it's the studio that's really making me going to give it a try. But it kind of might turn out a little too kiddie for me. But I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
I rated it a 1.
Brains?
I don't need another Iroha. Like Hanasaka Iroha is
Oh,
fine.
I liked Iroha.
It was fine. It was a good show. That's why I don't need a shitty ripoff of it. With a
Well,
cute
we don't
girl.
know that it's a
cute
ripoff.
little
It's just
girl.
a very similar premise.
It is literally the same premise.
God, I'm just looking at this background art in this PV. It looks ridiculous. It looks nice. Anyway, from here on out, let's just speed through this. Number 56, Lady Spo, which I guess stands for Lady Sports. I have no idea what the fuck this is.
It sounds like edgy if you say Lady Spo. I don't understand.
It sounds like water sports
What?
is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's kind of what. Like I was like, what the fuck is it? But like, no, we're not watching this.
No.
Oh
Number
well, except for
57,
Leo
Babe.
apparently, because he put it as a.
Oh,
gave
wait,
it a 3.
Leo has a 3 on this.
There's no description or information on my anime list. All I have to go by is this one picture, so it intrigues me.
Oh my
God
god!
damn
Leo's just
it,
into the
Leo.
pure mystery of this show.
It's gonna be
Oh, God.
Miso Shoujo Machiavellianism all over again.
No,
Pretty
please,
much.
Leo, don't do this. Oh, God.
just
Number
watch him
57 is
yourself
Beyblade Burst Bosetsu.
All I have to say about this is it's Beyblade.
And all I have to say is, no thanks. I don't need
Yeah,
more
no
Beyblade. I'm
thanks.
good.
Ooh.
Ditto.
I was gonna say the right way to say it is Beyblade. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, and then the last one we've got on our list is number 58, Kiratto Prichan from Tatsunoko Production and Dongwoo A&E Studio. And yeah, it's just a magical girl, little cute anime, but I'm not into it.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Enough has already been said.
Yeah. Holy shit, we made it through
Oh yeah.
all of the anime. And now we've got some predictions, so we got a little fun section here. So, Kat, why don't you read off the questions?
Okay. What do you think will be the most viewed sequel show of the season? Most popular on Mal, like at the end of the season, kind of.
In terms of members that have put
watched
it on their
it
Mal
and-
lists.
yeah.
So, Kat, what do you think?
Well, it's pretty obvious it's going to be My Hero Academia. Like, there's no way it's not going to be My Hero.
Leo, what do you think?
Just like the Crunchyroll Awards, I'm going to just use My Hero Academia as all my answers.
And brains.
I think most likely it'll be My Hero, but like Steins Gate Zero is a contender for it, like easily. But what it really depends on, Bcom, I'm gonna tell you right now, is a lot of people aren't gonna remember Steins Gate, like the newer fans. I guess I shouldn't say that as a de facto thing, but I know Steins Gate's still somewhat popular, but it does not have the recent fame that My Hero has. So the only way I think Steins Gate beats it is if magically a shit ton of people remember, right? Or My Hero becomes hipster trash again. Like it goes the way of the dodo as far as like how the hipsters feel about it. The same way Tokyo Ghoul did, the same way Sword Art Online did. It's gonna have to get trashed before
we'll see.
Steins Gate beats it, I think.
So I definitely think Steins Gate Zero takes this for several like analytical reasons. Like My Hero Academia from season 1 to season 2 dropped like 100,000 MAL users. I expect it, like Food Wars did, to drop even further for season 3. Meanwhile, Steins Gate is like the 4th highest ranked anime on all of MAL and the 6th most popular at like just under 1 million users. Way more than season 1 of My Hero Academia. And also like 88,000 people have it on their favorites list. Whereas like My Hero Academia, only 17,000 people have that on their favorites list.
I don't know what a favorites list
My
is.
anime list loves Steins Gate. That's all I have to say.
I'm just saying I don't know what a favorites list is on MAL.
I know, but 88,000 people do and figured it out and put Steins Gate on it.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see
it.
if Bcom is right. I mean, it would be interesting to see My Hero finally get supplanted as like the darling of the anime world. So
I could be wrong. I usually am. So let's move on.
I'm kind of tired of people masturbating to this show. Like people are so fucking in love with My Hero. I'm just like, I mean, I like it. But
Kat, well then you're gonna love me. Because I'm totally not. All right, Kat, what's question number 2?
Okay, what is going to be the least watched sequel show of the season? And I say it's going to be Gegege no Kitaro, because like I just don't think people over here are going to watch it.
That's a good bet. Yeah, I'm saying Beyblade Burst Chozetsu. I don't think people are interested in Beyblade.
I'm going to go with Tokyo Ghoul.
That's crazy.
You're so fucking not going to be right.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
But it is a good meme answer.
Yeah.
I agree with Bcom. It's Beyblade.
Okay.
Like kids are the ones watching that. They're not on MAL.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah, so most viewed original show of the season. So like this is its first season. So I say it's going to be It's Hard to Love an Otaku. I know maybe I'm being optimistic, but I'm in love with the show and I want it to be like out of the park good.
It's not an original though.
Well, but it is because like it's its first season. Like that's what I mean.
Original means it's an original work. It's not being adapted, basically. Right.
I mean,
so you fucked up, Kat, is what you
did. I fucked up. Oh shit. I guess I'll have to agree with Bcom then, because like I do also think Megalo Box will be really popular.
Oh, okay, that's fine. My brain says Megalo Box, so that's my answer. My heart says Hisone to Maso-tan. I think people will latch onto that show, but I don't know if it'll be as much as Megalo Box, so I'm going with Megalo Box.
So I know the fan base is there, so I'm just going to go with Gundam Build Divers.
That's what I went with too, because Gundam Build Divers is going to do well. Do real well.
It will.
So,
all right, Kat, number 4.
Least watched original show. I went with The Butler Show that we talked about.
It's a good guess. I will go with Lady Spo, but you're probably better off with that Butler Show. Like nobody's gonna watch that Butler Show. Maybe some girls will watch
it. Dance with Dragons, which that just looks like a failure waiting to happen. So
yeah. I'm saying the honest answer and the true answer. Hisone to Maso-tan.
Wrong.
Total opposite of Bcom's last answer.
Yeah, that's going to be a running theme with these predictions. Don't worry. Kat, what about the next one?
All right. Best boy of the season. I say it's gonna be shared between Reinhardt and Wenli, because like they prettied those boys up. Like Bcom was not kidding when he talked about how the same team who worked on Kuroko no Basket worked on these guys. Like they're pretty. So like that's who
they are both galactic heroes. Yes,
and they're staring at each other longingly.
Probably be
in the
wrong with
thumbnail.
blood fighters. Oh well.
I'm going to be really optimistic and say Junk Dog from Megalo Box, who is like the main character. I don't know if he's actually going to be a good character. I'm just really hoping he is, because that anime looks like it could be great if he is. So yeah.
That's kind of a stretch. Like I said, I'm putting My Hero Academia and everything, so Deku's going to be best boy again.
I gotta agree with Leo, but disagree with him, because clearly he has not been listening to the women folk and just the folk that watch My Hero Academia, because it's going to be Todoroki.
Okay.
Winner of the Crunchyroll Award for Best Boy. So, you know. Kat, what's the next question?
Best girl of the season. Okay, so who's that girl from Shokugeki no Soma who's like really tan? She's the meat girl with the
Mito.
boobs.
Her name is literally Mito.
Okay, that's who I think
the
it's
meat.
going to be. There you go.
Okay, that's a good one. She is pretty good. I'm going to say Now from Hisone to Maso-tan, purely because she's voiced by Tomoya Kurosawa, who is the freaking best and makes the best noises in her voice acting. And she looks like she's going to be playing like a really out there, hilarious character. So yeah.
I'm going to go with Ochako from My Hero Academia. And it's not that I agree with these answers. I just think that's who's probably going to be it. I agree more with what Brain's answer is.
Okay.
Because my answer is the one true answer, and that is Rias Gremory.
Nice.
I mean, that's a good choice too.
It is a good choice.
Yeah. All right. Most trashed on show of the season by the community. So I don't want it to be true, but it probably will be true. I think it's probably going to be Tokyo Ghoul. Like, I accepted my fate as a Tokyo Ghoul fan a long time ago. It is what it is. So.
Yeah, like you, I think like the most popular shows attract the most trash talk. So I would say Tokyo Ghoul Re. Given how the fan base just turned on Route A so hard, are just ready to like jump on the smallest thing with Tokyo Ghoul. So yeah.
So if the fan base latches on to Alice or Alice like it did with Arrow Manga Sensei, I think that would be the most trash talk.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good guess. Yeah.
My belief is SAO alternative. 2 years of glop, guys. 2 years of glop.
Glop.
SAO is definitely another really good answer for this question. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Most memed show of the season in the community. So I think it's going to be Mahou Shoujo Ore. It's just going to give us so much, guys. Like this show. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's what I picked.
That's what I picked too. It's weird. Like it's like we know that like what how absurd the show is, and it's like it's almost like there's somebody who doesn't.
You like see the title card with it and you're like, how is this not the most memed already?
It is definitely going to be memed to high heaven. I think SAO alternative is going to be memed like crazy too, especially if it's not good, which let's be honest, there's a high percentage chance of that.
It's
and even if it is good, it'll still be memed like crazy. So yeah.
Not like Mahou Shoujo Ore, I think there will be too many things that come out of that. It'll just be like the same kind of absurdity we talked about before. Like, look how heavily memed Sakamoto was. All right, that show was absurd as shit.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. And like Pop Team Epic, incredibly absurd show and memed like crazy. So yes.
All right, number 9, breakout hit of the season. The one that like becomes popular and no one was expecting it to be popular. I think it's either going to be Mahou Shoujo Sight, the one with the magical girls who like kill each other in brutal ways, because people fucking love tournament like violence for some reason. So I could see that
tournament
being popular.
arc.
Yeah, I could see it being popular.
As
just
Giggles
people,
puts it.
yeah, people are like, ooh, look at these bitches like fighting each other to the death in skirts. Like I could see that. Or maybe Gurazini could be popular all of a sudden, but I'm not holding my breath. That's what I want it to be, but I have a feeling it's not going to be. Bcom?
I'm saying Hisone to Maso-tan, especially once people figure out it's Studio Bones and then it's good. It's going to jump up in the popularity ratings. But if that's too easy, I feel like that's an easy answer because it's obvious to anybody with a brain. Yeah. I'll say that Wakao Kami wa Shoga Kusei from Madhouse will be another like candidate to jump up when people see the quality of it. But yeah.
Man, I guess Hinamatsuri was kind of high, wasn't it?
It got higher after we first made the document.
Yeah. I say that because I haven't heard anybody talk about it, and I know how good it is.
That's true.
So
yeah, that qualifies.
That was mine.
Yeah, it qualifies. That's fine.
And then
so I chose Dorei-ku the Animation only because outside of our group, I haven't heard anyone talk about this show.
Yeah, and I think it's a good choice because like it could be really popular. So
yeah. Especially because it's like going to be very controversial no matter what happens. Like, sure, it'll probably gain popularity just because of that.
It'll get some tongues wagging either way.
Wow.
All right. So what show do you think you will hate the most this coming season? I said Pretty Derby.
You hurt me,
I hate
Kat.
the fuck out of that show. I'm telling you, nuclear war.
Nuclear?
Do you want nuclear war, Bcom?
No, I want nuclear war. I don't want nuclear war.
Stand away from the precipice. Back down. What about you?
The show I'm probably going to hate the most this coming season is Dorei-ku the Animation.
Fuck.
Because
you
it's
have no
fucking
taste.
Stupid as fuck.
Oh, yep. Says the man who rated
stupid.
Pretty Derby of 5. You fuck.
Because it's God's gift to anime brains. You just haven't seen it yet. I understand that I am the prophet and I'm showing you the way, but
like when that show turns out bad, I'm gonna just lay my dick on the table and I'm just gonna be like that.
Just be like, suck it. Suck it.
It's gonna be like episode 4.
You will have to put an
Inuyashiki.
SCM in my mouth to get me to do that.
No. It's just gonna be like Inuyashiki episode 4 Bcom. That's how it's gonna roll.
Really, Bcom has just been giving Pretty Derby a sloppy blowjob this entire episode.
True.
I mean, these girls might have dongs. I mean, they're horses. Anyway, so Leo, go on.
Futa.
Girl horses don't have dongs.
Not with that attitude.
Futa horse girls. Futa horse girls.
Yeah, Rule 34. Yeah. It's going to be one of the sports shows that Bcom will likely lock in if he doesn't go to war with Kat for the regular podcast, or it's going to be whatever he locks in because he's very persistent about locking in my most hated show every freaking season.
I take great pride in that.
Dick.
And Brains, what is your most hated show going to be?
I think it's going to be Hinamatsuri. I think it's going to be like one of those.
Something wrong with you.
I think it's going to be one of those that people are like, oh, if you don't get it, you're not smart enough. And I'm just going to be like, it sounds terrible. Like it sounds like a bunch of short comedy sketches. I'm good. I'll go watch a stand-up on Netflix.
A manga episode, I want to say, is like 40 pages.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe
they're very long chapters.
Maybe it'll be good, but maybe it'll be terrible. But I feel like it's going to be one of those shows people will be like, if you don't get it, you're dumb.
And as long as the comedy transfers over, it's going to be a really fun watch.
All right, and then the last prediction, the happiest prediction.
All right, what show do you think you'll personally enjoy the most this season? So for me, it's going to either be It's Hard to Love an Otaku or Megalo Box. I'm really hyped for both of those.
For me, there's really only one answer in anime or in life, and that is Horse Girls Pretty Derby. Come on.
You fucking twat.
Okay, me without saying Hinamatsuri, because I know I'll enjoy it anyways. I'm going to go with Mahou Shoujo Ore.
I'm
because
also really excited about this one.
God, that show is going to be good.
Yep. Good choice, Leo.
My choice is obviously the one clear answer, Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I think that it's going to be great again. I think that it's going to... The thing I'm going to enjoy the most about it is all the people who are like, I'm watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes and I love it. And it'll just be finally the ability to introduce it to a new generation because there's not that 100 episode barrier. It's 12 episodes. That's all you got to watch. And then you just wait for the movies. Like it's just gonna be the greatest thing in the world for me, because all I've ever wanted is motherfuckers to just sit down and watch Legend of the Galactic Heroes, because it's so worth it.
And it is worth it. I can guarantee, I can freaking tell you it is. It's incredible. So, yeah. All right. Brains, despite calling me a twat multiple times, thank you so much for coming on this show. Where can people find you and your podcast on the internet if they want to?
You can find us on like iTunes and all that stuff. But if you remember this, tpwapodcast.com. TPWA stands for Trash Pandas Watch Anime. If you go there, we have all of our episodes. There's a ratings page that has our ratings on it. There's, you should find something you enjoy, as long as you are cool with some cursing and dirty jokes. I honestly recommend our newest episode, because it has some great moments in the main topic that just were off the cuff, and I'm still laughing pretty hard about.
Awesome.
Because Dragon Slayer.
All right. As for us, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, or YouTube. You can always hit us up on Twitter at Nerdom and Other. And if you want to help us get some more visibility on iTunes, you can leave us a review on iTunes or Google Play, just letting us know what you think of the podcast, letting us know if you like what you hear. Yeah. That would help us out a lot.
And if you do leave us a review, I will read it personally on the podcast. True. Possibly
what if it's a
in
1
a
star?
Sexy voice.
Still gonna read it?
Kat will read it in her sexy voice, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I like this deal.
But yeah, that wraps things up. I hope this helped you guys figure out some shows that you want to watch or want to skip this coming season. Dorei-ku. Stay tuned for our first impressions podcast.
Fight you.
That'll come up in a couple weeks, and that'll be like the first few episodes of each show that we'll cover. Thank you, and we will see you then. Peace.
Later.
Yeah.
Meet me in the parking lot. Bcom.
20 minutes, baby. Let's go.
Fight.